Stop talking about cease and desist letters. Sending a cease and desist letter is literally the most responsible thing you can do if you're not willing to follow it up with a lawsuit. I'm not going to just send empty, hollow cease and desist letters to people. And I do not have the psychological bandwidth, the desire, the money to start firing off 20 million lawsuits at people. So I'm not going to just be sending empty cease and desist to Hazan to make him stop calling me a. This is retarded. Maybe after my current lawsuit, sure, but whenever in 2029 or in 2037 or whatever, when it's over.
How are you?
I think he's just screaming.
Hi, what's up?
How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Remember the agreement that you're not going to act like a hostage victim?
Nope, I'm not. Well, now I am because now you just said it and announced publicly to my audience. So now I am a hostage victim. Okay, what do you got for us?
Yeah, you're going to be. Well, what do you have? July 10th, you have an event coming up.
In Las Vegas, where I'm debating the one and only.
Who?
George Santos.
Santos.
Is it Santos or Santos? I think it's Santos. We call him Santos in American. Hell yeah.
I don't know. You're Cuban.
Is he really gonna? He's showing up there. You guys confirmed that and everything, right?
Yeah. Booked his flights and everything.
Damn. Do you know what our debate topic is for the audience?
I'm hoping something on Trump. He seems he's content with anything.
Well, given that Trump literally released him from prison, yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah. So I'm thinking something Trump defending. I feel like that's a really easy topic.
Maybe Trump's greatest warrior.
Unironically, that's how it goes.
Truly. Yeah. And so it's part of the Take Back America tour. It's like a new additional tour program that you're heading up and being a part of, which is exciting. We did our first stop already. Did you see any of our UFC stuff?
Yeah, at the University of Florida, Carolina, UFC. Which one is that?
The fight?
Oh, UFC, the fighting. Oh, yeah, that's what I...
Yeah.
What were you guys doing out there?
We took like 14 creators out there to talk to MAGA going to the fight. We got a bunch of banger content, which was very exciting. We also snuck into the Ellipse event.
Nice.
And how was it?
Everyone was pretty drunk. I don't know. Probably you shouldn't be able to like bribe your way into those events. That's probably dangerous. But it was, the fights were good. The audio was terrible, so there was no content from inside because you couldn't hear anything.
Damn.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a link so that people can register if they're Las Vegas local.
Yeah.
What time? Do you remember what time the event is?
6 or 8. I think there's multiple debates going on, right?
There is, yeah. There's Micah Irfan. Before you, he's debating David Pollock from OAN. He's like one of the head OAN guys.
Jesus.
And then Andrew JD is debating Deaf Noodles on birthright citizenship.
Jesus. The guy who didn't know what a fucking green card was, I think, on Jubilee. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Kill me. Jesus fucking
What?
Christ.
You can't fucking debate?
Oh my God.
Let him cook, man.
Yeah. Let him cook, as Mooten would say. Yeah, it's on the 10th, actually, specifically. It's on the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Are you flying out? Do you have your flights booked?
Yep.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Signed your contract?
Yep.
And then what do we need from people?
Well, we need them to sign up on the website to buy tickets, right?
Yep. We do.
Yeah.
Do you have a link to that? Do you
No.
want me to give you the link?
Yeah, give me the link.
Okay.
You can give it to me and I'll pin it in the chat as well.
All right. So we have fundraising. We've got to raise like 15 to 20K to pay for the event. So here you go. And I don't think I can type in this side chat. Can I type in this side chat?
Oh my God. Everybody wants to use the fucking side chat, man.
It's such a horrible chat.
Where do you want me to post it? Paste
Just
it?
DM him.
Yeah, just send me the
I
link.
DM'd you. I did.
Wait, is
So
this
there's how to-
where they buy tickets?
No, this is just where they support. The ticket, the
Oh.
registration. I'm just trying to find it. I'm sorry. I just got back from Pilates.
Wow.
So I'm running. Have you ever done Pilates, Steven?
Yeah.
Where is your fitness at? Why are you dropping that? Are you
Nope.
still doing
I've been
it?
fucking your mom every single day. I can basically run a 5K now. in
Yes, dear
20 minutes
leader.
because of all the cardio I'm getting.
Tell her.
If
Banging
my
that
mom
mom.
is getting like demented, are you doing an essay?
No. Every time she switches to a new personality, I just make sure that she's still cool with things, and she usually is.
Magic works. What are you talking about?
Of course it is. You're possessed by a demon. When the demon's in, I get consent, and we're good.
Okay.
The
gotcha.
demon's cool with it.
So, what's going on today? What have you been up to? You guys screaming about?
We're yelling at Hassan.
Yeah, we're talking about how we're going to start targeting and harassing journalists that give them softball interviews from now on. So that should be fun. And then being more critical of the
Harassing
streamers.
is a bad word, I think.
Yeah,
More
that's a really bad word.
talking and, telling the
True.
journalists what they should be
Spamming
asking.
questions underneath all of their social medias and then emailing them and
Yes.
the outlet they work for if they are not asking good questions. So whatever you call
You're
that.
educating.
Sure.
Is what you're
Yes.
trying to say.
Re-educating.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're
yeah,
just
maybe not
giving
harassing.
light criticism.
Oh, Jesus
Light
Christ.
criticism.
Okay.
What the fuck is this? Sounds like a demon website. Why is everything demonic today?
Luma? Are
Yeah.
you 40? What do you mean? Luma's like a standard ticket website.
Okay. I only buy my tickets from Ticketmaster and Eventbrite, but okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, because you're a boomer. That's fine.
Are you going to be at LibCon?
I am. Oh yeah, you're going to LibCon.
Yes, we will all be here. We will all hang out.
What?
Or we
What
won't,
made you?
you know.
You're coming all the way from. Are you still in Canada?
I'm in the great country of Canada. It's Canada Day, Erudite. Are you celebrating?
I'm not.
Yikes.
Oh,
But I never
fucked
really
up.
did, so I know.
It's our day.
Okay, so you're in the great. Are you doing anything for Canada? Are you wearing orange?
I'm shirtless right now, and my cat's behind me. No, we're gonna go out to eat, I guess. But that's not
Awesome.
really for Canada Day.
Make sure you get some.
Why are you going to LibCon?
Because
Why am I
what do
going
you
to
mean? Because he's a
LibCon?
liberal.
I'm a liberal. I'm excited to go listen to the panels, watch the panels, and hang out. And I'm also gonna be there an extra few days to go and tour my nation's capital again.
Ooh.
The last time I went was 5th grade, so I'm excited to go and walk
Yeah, we got to
around
see the
again.
new monuments, the arch,
Mm-hmm.
the Trump
I gotta
arch.
see my arch.
Yeah.
I want to see the reflecting pool. Trump's fixed it. I gotta go see
Again?
the White House. I got business there.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay,
but
and then are you going early? Wait, are you going like a few days before LibCon, or are you going?
I'll be there
after
the
LibCon?
15th until the 19th.
No way! I'm gonna be there
Yep.
the 15th. I'm gonna be. Are you
I'll
doing
hang out.
NLAS then as well? Because there's
I
another
don't know what
like
the fuck that is.
it's like the young liberal movement.
New Liberal Action Summit.
Action
No.
Summit. There we go.
I haven't
Yeah.
heard about this at all.
Did you guys see that people climbed the Empire State Building today and unfurled a banner?
I didn't.
Wait, like the whole
You
thing?
guys didn't- Yeah, here I'll send it to you.
Like they climbed to the top?
Yeah, look at this shit. Look at this clip I just sent you. Pull it up. Pull it up.
Yeah, I
Let
gotta
the
take a
people
picture of the
know.
Kennedy Center. I gotta see the tarp myself, the new monument.
Ooh. Bro, going through Washington is so depressing. Look at this shit. They're actually at the top of the Empire State Building.
Is it about Free Palestine? No, it's
No.
not. Shit.
When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. It's just like.
Oh,
peace,
did they
guys.
like they exited the top of the building
cute.
and then climbed the spire or whatever? That's still
I
impressive.
have no idea how they got up there. I just know that they're up there.
I would have brought a jetpack.
Think about how great it would feel to be on top of there. That's how good everyone will feel if they come to the Las Vegas event.
Amazing.
It'll be the same quality of excitement and enjoyment.
I agree. It'll be awesome.
Okay, make sure you promote a lot. We gotta raise funds to cover it, and all the funds that cover it will go towards this, like more tour stops, and any additional money goes back to canvassing programs with DGG.
Sounds good.
Doing
We're
this in
saluting.
partnership with
spiritually.
Digital Ground Game.
Awesome.
I'm so proud of you. You were so not acting like a hostage.
I'm not.
He's not a
this is
hostage ever.
easily-
I'm not.
This is easily the best announcement I've ever had to do on your stream.
Well, thank you.
I usually dread it. Maybe it's Mr. I think Mooton's like the lubricant for this. Makes
On
it
Steve's
easier.
Really?
lube. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you're
good,
Steve's
actually.
lube. Steve's lube.
I'm lubing him up good.
Mr. Moob. All right. Okay, I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have fun. Be
Bye.
careful.
See you,
See ya.
LibCon.
Yikes.
She's not invited to LibCon.
She's not invited to the cool groups that we're going to.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Did you watch that Mehdi Hassan thing with me? Or when he was interviewing the AFD guy?
I believe so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The German guy. Yeah.
Yeah. That fucking quote where the guy's just like, well, how do you feel about my dad? He was in the SS. Do you think he was a bad guy? That's just so...
I didn't see that part,
That's
but I'm
just
assuming
so
he said yes, right?
crazy. Well, yeah, because it's the it's not like the German
Yeah.
army. It's like the fucking SS. Like, why would the
It's the
fuck?
secret fucking-
That's just
yeah.
so fucking funny that he said that. Holy shit.
It's my dad. He's a good guy to me.
my God.
He only disappeared Jews. Who cares?
Fuck. What? I don't even know this debate I have in 15 minutes.
Can we, in history, can we stop picking on the Jews? Can we? It's cliche.
No,
at
it's
this
just
point.
like
Can
it's
we
like the
move
easiest.
on?
It's like calling you a pedophile. It's just like the easiest thing to do. That like when somebody's like, "Fuck," like we gotta blame some people on some shit, and it's like, "Oh, fucking."
Who are we gonna
Jews.
blame this time?
Just
Yeah,
go,
I mean,
boom. It's like
okay.
the lowest. It's like, you know that like your movement is cooked as soon as you guys go out into the Jew shit. Like, fuck, are we already here, guys? Really, the Jews already? Fuck.
At least they're blaming the fucking
Wait, very quickly.
Somalian
It was a
people in
proposal.
America.
Oh.
What's a proposal?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know we were in racism hour. It was a proposal at the Empire State Building. They climbed to
Like
the
they
top and
propose
dude-
on the top?
Yeah, he proposed to her. She was up there. This couple, also kind of a power couple, really attractive. Not gonna lie. Here,
Cute.
I'm gonna send you
Nice.
a picture. Isn't that so sweet?
That's so sweet. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'll let you go back to talking about Somalians.
Yeah, we're
What?
big
You mean
mad.
Somalis,
Somalis?
not
Somalis?
Somalians?
Is that what-
Wait,
Sorry.
what would
sorry,
you?
my
If you were talking
racism
about
thing.
Ukraine, what would you say?
If
would
I
call
was
them
talking about Ukraine,
God's chosen people.
Yeah.
wouldn't you call them Ukrainians? You wouldn't call them Ukrainians, would you?
I'm just making sure you're not gonna say the Ukraine.
Wow, good one. You fucked that up.
Sorry, I didn't take my media training lessons today.
No, not you. Mr. Moon fucked it up.
Oh,
I didn't fuck it up.
Well,
Like,
if she was going to
what's-
say
I'm
the
farming them.
Ukraine, how could you ask her, what do you call Ukrainians? She's not going to say like,
yeah.
No,
The
I
Ukraine.
didn't say Ukrainians.
Why would I ever
said
say the
if you were
Ukraine?
talking
What?
about Ukraine, what would you talk about, or something like
no,
that?
you said, what would you call
Watch
them?
Watch the clip. Watch the clip.
Yeah, you definitely said what would you call them?
Yeah, you
which I
did.
assume-
No,
Sorry.
I'm getting gaslit.
Nah, you
I
know.
thought you were
I'm getting
bailing me
gaslit.
out. I thought you were bailing me out, Mr. Moon.
I mean, she's literally a psycho magician, so be careful.
I took psychology too. You can't. I
Really?
didn't
Well, she took
complete it.
psychology
Not at a
3,
high
so.
level. Yeah, I took.
Yeah,
it to
well,
a higher
I'm
level.
one semester
More
away.
powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what? Graduating your undergrad or what?
That's right. I was smart
Congratulations.
enough to know
I have-
that a master's wouldn't even matter. So
True,
I stopped
exactly. He
before
mastered
you.
psychology on the streets.
It's like I was too smart for that master's bullshit. I'm like, you
Yeah.
idiots.
True.
Yeah. Well, okay, whatever. All right. Make sure you promote the debate. Okay. Maybe watch a George Santos clip. Maybe I should send you one.
Will
Actually,
do.
you probably don't want to watch a George Santos clip. Okay. Bye.
Have fun, be careful, bye.
But finally,
Okay, let's watch
so
our
about
best
those
friend.
Somalis.
Do you think that the defeat
One sec.
in Makerfield was anything to do with your admission that you were given £5 million by a crypto
God.
billionaire? Sorry?
No one cares. Apart from the media, no one cares. No one cares at all.
The
I was asked it- I
Parliamentary
think-
Standards Watchdog care because they are investigating
Well,
it.
they are, you're right. There's been a complaint received, complaint from the Conservative Party chairman. They're investigating it. We'll see what they say. I'm absolutely convinced I've done nothing wrong in any way at all. I also know that since I was elected as an MP, I've taken zero in personal expenses. I'm very careful and very cautious about these things. I believe it to be a wholly private matter. The Standards Commissioner may take a different view.
You had already given an interview about the possibility of becoming an MP and then you accepted the gift. Is that right?
Yeah. And after that, I said I will not stand in this election. And I was pretty clear when a snap election was called that I wasn't going to do it. I did change my mind subsequently.
You've said that £5 million was for lifelong security for
Yeah.
you. You've also said it was a gift. Can you just clarify?
No.
What it
Let's be clear.
was for.
Let's be clear. It's an unconditional gift. I can spend it on cars if I want to. It's entirely up to me, right? But there is a specific reason for this. I have been physically the most attacked and endangered politician in Britain for now well over a decade. At every stage during that time, when I've asked the state to help and support, most times they point blank refused. I know, because of the division in politics, that I will need protection until the day that I die. And that is my intention. That is what it's for. And it means, frankly, I can get on with my job and not worry about the long term.
So, Mr Farage, how much of that money have you spent?
Look, it's literally none of your business. If I've given it to charity, but the truth is, I haven't. I know what it's
You
there
haven't
for.
spent any of it?
It's none of your business. It's literally none of your... How much of your salary
That's
do you
his
spend
money.
on beer, on petrol? It's none of your business.
I think it is the public's business to know.
No, it's not the
what,
public's business.
Well, it's being investigated by the Parliamentary Standards
Yeah.
Committee, so it's
Yeah, well,
somebody's
let
business.
them- let
You're
them
saying you need
investigate it.
security, a legitimate point.
Yeah.
How much of that money have you spent on security so far?
I'm sorry. Well, I know I'm not going to answer that deliberately, willfully. Because
Do
it's
you
not your
wish that
business.
you had
It's not-
declared
it is not
this
your
money at the
business.
time?
It is not your business at the BBC to put me in danger. Therefore, I will not answer that.
I would
Why
just
they
like to
trying to fuck
clarify,
a
do
man
not
for
make
getting
any
a
mistake.
bag?
We are not putting you in any danger at all.
If I answer that question, you are, so I won't.
So, but you have already said that you haven't spent it.
Fine. Leave it at that then.
Do you wish you declared it at the time?
No.
You know this is going to keep coming up again and again and
Well,
again.
that's it. And look, you can obsess about it, all right? That's fine. I spent, goodness knows, scores of hours in Makerfield, out talking to people, out knocking on doors, meeting people of all political opinions, and only one person raised it with me. So, you know, if you want to go on about it for the next 3 years, you go on about it. That's fine. I'm going to get on with my job.
I just wonder, you know, the people that you're talking to this morning, our viewers, the man and woman in the pub tonight
King.
watching England play football. I
Yeah.
just wonder what they
guy's a
would
king.
think about someone who has got £5 million sitting in a bank account and whether how they can relate
wonder.
to that.
I wonder how they'd relate to your salary. Many of them in the pub
My
tonight.
salary is on
many
the public
of them,
record.
Many of them watching this programme right now.
Well,
It's good business.
would you link me? Is this going to be retarded?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting for you.
Do like some of this stuff that she does is like a 4 out of 10. Like legit, I'm like, okay. I mean, okay. I was watching it. I was like, okay. What's next? I mean, do something. I mean, do some shit, lady. Yo, I'm watching a movie, and she does some crazy behavior, and I'm like, yo, is that actually? Do some shit. Like, what the fuck?
You go see the movie.
Like,
I
steal
understand
his
how
car or
you
some
feel
shit. You know what I mean?
But you
Oh, God. Yeah, you think that's funny?
Yeah, I like that.
Interesting that you'd think that.
Wait, you're going on Wix soon?
Yeah, in like 7 minutes.
It's gonna be awesome, dude. What are you debating?
About USAID.
And should people donate to Wick today?
I guess? What do you mean?
Yes or no?
Well, I mean, I like money
Yes
too.
or no?
I like money.
I didn't ask if they should donate to you yet.
If they want to donate to WIC, then they should donate to WIC, yeah.
And should people donate to you?
If they really want, if they have money left over after donating to WIC, yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. That's just business. Can I show you a cool website since we're not doing anything till Wick?
Sure.
All right. Here you go.
Hold on.
What I think you should do on here is I think you should go in the deep south and find like the talk shows, and then you could call in.
What the fuck? Oh, this is like, I don't speak Spanish though.
No. I mean the deep south of like the U.S.
Oh.
You can move around. Sometimes there's really funny ones. They'll be, it'll just be like some place in Mississippi, and they're just selling things on the radio. Like the guy comes on and is like, "Yeah, I got a motorcycle that I'm selling, and I'm over here."
Okay. Seemed like a hater, but you're trying to
No, I
harass
like
these
it.
people?
No, I don't call in yet.
Oh, it seems like you're just trying to harass
But-
these people.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, exactly.
Now show them.
It's the radio website. Here. Oh, 1 second.
Oh, he's doing something.
It's here, radio website. Wow. Look, you can go see where radio things are.
You don't even want to. You don't even want to scroll around.
How? It doesn't let me scroll. Look, it put me in. Ah!
Go to Israel.
I want to listen to my own place.
News.com.
There.
Connect with us socially on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and
There we
Threads
go.
at Black Information Network and on X and Blue Sky
There we
at
go.
Black Infonet.
There we go.
I'm Esther Dillard on your home for Black News First, the Black Information
Wait.
Network.
Like, black people?
whether it's
Oh,
foreign affairs,
you got to do me one
rescue
favor. I need you to go to Toronto.
What?
death toll will
You're
continue
gonna
to
have to check
rise
Toronto
nearly.
for me. It's
There's
a
no
classic.
borders. I don't even know if I can find Toronto. Hold on.
You're Michigan.
Hold on.
All right.
Wait, nope, up here. Wait. Wait. How many of the Great Lakes? What parts of them are in Canada? Hold on. Wait. Okay.
Comes from the Marquette
See
Food
New
Co-op.
York, like up here, right?
Okay,
Fuck. Wait, nope. Too far north. Hold on. Hold on. Is this Buffalo?
Fact that people have like
Yeah, we're in New
83
York.
entries.
Wait. Syracuse. Wait. Oh, wait. It's right here.
No.
Nope. Wait. Oh, whoa, we're getting closer. Wait. Got it. Jesus. There we go. You're right. There we go.
You didn't get it this time. No.
I didn't get what? I got it. I'm getting it right now.
Usually, if you go to Toronto, it'll be like an Indian.
Really? Well, that's not what I'm getting right now. I'm getting hyped right now.
You're getting.
This is crazy. I feel like I'm in a John Wick movie.
All right. Now take me to the Strait of Hormuz.
Do you think they listen to fucking... Oh, they should have like special radio stations set up for like the stuck sailors. Wouldn't that be sick?
He's got it. For the sailors.
Right? So they have something to listen to?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Hold on.
They're only listening to hype music in Tehran right now. They're total victory.
This is nice, see?
Yes. While they're waiting in the street.
Yeah.
That's nice.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is
Crop
that?
circles?
Are those solar panels?
What is that? No, it's alien signals.
Probably the Jews.
Probably. Jesus. What's happening over here, guys? Hello?
What the hell are they doing over there? Get away from there. Could be the U.S. looking how to make a new canal through all of that area.
How do I make, like the geography? God damn it. Oh, this. Wait. Terrain. Right?
You put the little guy down there, no?
No, I just want to see the
Satellite?
Can we not? I don't know what these are. Can we not? Fucking. Don't stop talking to me! Show sidebar. Got it. Okay. Ignore all that. Alright. How do I. Wait. No? Click satellite. Stop! Oh my. Ah! Layers.
There you go.
Satellite. Oh, we got. Oh, we found him. Look. What is this?
What are those?
Al Rakaya Farm. What's going on down here? It's crops.
What are they doing?
If
over
it is
there?
crops, then I was right. It's crop circles. These are literally circles of crops. I don't know if I like what's going on down here.
We might need to.
Oh my god, it's crops and they put big sprinklers here. And that's why, because they go around in circles. So that's why the crops have to all be in a circle. Because, you know?
All right, where's the oil?
Oh, that's underground, you idiot.
Oh, shit.
How do I make a measure a distance? Ugh. Oh my.
Can you do that on here?
You have to hold on a button and do something. Right click.
These are oil farms, that's why it's black. Oh!
Oh yeah, the water only has to shoot out not even a quarter mile. Easy. What if it's an oil farm?
Yeah. That's where they go get the oil by buckets. They put it on a camel, send it to the strait.
True. All right. Be careful. Don't die.
All right, bye.
Hello, can you hear us?
Loud and clear.
Beautiful. Give me 10 seconds, and then we will hit start, and we'll all begin. Okay. Welcome yet again to another episode of WIC TV. It's a cross-ideological space where we come together to talk about issues both political and cultural, from the silly to the serious. And gang, today we are going to be discussing USAID. The prompt tonight is ending USAID was the right move for America and its interests, and they'll be defended by Admiral Gibbs and Dragonfist TV. Destiny and She's Right will be opposing. It should be a fun and interesting discussion. I am looking forward to it. I'm not going to give you too much preamble, and we're just going to get to work. I'm going to give the mic first to Mr. Fist, I guess. How do you want to be referred to?
Andrew's fine. I should have put that. I didn't see it.
Okay, Andrew. Mr. Fist sounds weird. Okay, Andrew, there's a mic. Give us your opening thoughts. Tell people who you are, what you do, why we should listen to you, all that, and then we'll just go around. Go ahead.
Sure. I had a channel. It started as a martial arts channel. We've pivoted now. We're doing, cultural commentary, political commentary. So it's been going pretty well. Check us out. Subscribe on YouTube. My opening statement is very simple. We're in $39 trillion debt here in the United States. This is an existential threat to our country. Currently, we are adding to the debt faster, way faster than we're paying it down. I don't see any way we could get out of this without cutting programs that are, I would say any program that's not national security and that's overseas is on the chopping block. So we would, my opponents would have to demonstrate how it would be counter to the to American growth to cut these programs, as it's exactly what we need to do to survive. And I can also demonstrate with evidence that a lot of these programs are just waste, fraud, abuse. Basically, this is the quality leering of foreign policy. And I can demonstrate that through evidence. And my opponents can try to demonstrate. I'm sure they're going to say that, we're killing babies and this, that, and the other. But I will also demonstrate that this is just based on projections from publications like The Lancet, not actual data, just projections based on the most severe outcome possible from a left-wing publication. So at that, we can get into it. That's pretty much the argument that I'm going to take. I know you said you wanted to keep this short. We can get
we'll get into it as we go. Thank you for being here and looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you.
Admiral Gibbs, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as far as what my partner just said, yeah, I agree with almost everything. Listen, there's going to be a whole lot of hooping and hollering and bitching and moaning and crying about shit that I don't give a shit about. Listen, I got two words for these countries. Fuck them. We've restructured USAID under the State Department. We can talk about people dying overseas, but listen, people are going to die anyway. There's other countries that can provide aid if they want to. We're going to hear a lot about soft power tonight. I'm talking about hard power, right? That's the secret. Is we're going in there. We have the bombs. We can do what we want. We're still going to be the biggest leader in foreign aid compared to any other country in the world for the umpteenth million year in a row. I'm sure we'll get into all this going forward. But I mean, the USAID was basically just an NGO, Tammany Hall, baby back bullshit plan. And I'm glad it's gone.
Okay, I guess we'll see how it goes. Thank you for being here. She's right, please.
USAID has saved millions of lives. It is the right thing to do. It represents, as Social Security does domestically, what it means to be an American and what a government ought to do. It is a great use of our money, and the world is a better place for it, and the world is a worse place without it.
Thank you, and I like it, short and sweet. Destiny, please.
Yeah, more or less the same. I think that anytime you're in a position of radical power, I think that you have some kind of obligation, ethical obligation to either the people around you or to the world to provide for them as best you can. I think that it's really hard to find ways to influence or invest in other countries that doesn't come off as being incredibly malicious, and this was one easy way to do that. So it's a good expansion of soft power that gives us a better reputation around the world, irrespective of ethical concerns. And having a more stable world around us also allows us in the long term to have a better national security structure at home, because we have less chaos and destruction and everything else in the rest of the world, which makes it easier for us to protect ourselves.
Okay, and with that, it's open discussion. I'm going to let you guys go at it. Like I said, if I tell you to shut up, please shut up. And it's because I have questions or you guys are yelling at each other. So go ahead.
I'm curious about the first agreement brought up, which is either save money by cutting the budget, or fuck them, let's invest in hard power, which is more expensive than soft power. How do you to resolve that? I don't know. I'm just curious.
I mean,
It's difference
you
in
would take
values.
that. You would take that, Andrew. You want to go for it?
It doesn't matter. You could take it. I can pick up
Go ahead.
after. Well, I would say that we're wasting. A lot of this has nothing to do with national security. I can give you a couple of examples. We're giving $2 million to Guatemala for sex changes and LGBT activism. 1.5 million towards advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplace. Hold on, I got this mic again. Thing came up. Money going to Colombia, Peru, and India for things like transgender-themed comic books. 3.9. Okay, I'm just going down the rundown of the government. If you have a source that shows that that's not true, that's the smallest amount. I can keep going. 3.9 million earmarked for LGBT in the Western Balkans. 5.5 in Uganda for similar programs. I mean, can we cut this stuff? Like, no one's going to die if we cut this stuff, right?
And just,
we agree
just,
on that?
Just to add to that,
No.
because I know you want to argue.
Wait, she said no. Like, how is this saving lives overseas, or something that's that we need to be spending our funds on when we're in national debt that we're how is that
people
our
kill themselves?
Okay, so because people are going to kill themselves overseas, we shouldn't pay down our national debt. We need to have a hierarchy of
priorities.
True. That's a false
dichotomy. And the question you asked was, how is this saving lives? And yeah, it is saving lives. So that's a separate question.
Do you have evidence that any of these programs saves lives directly? Because you actually, CNN, Reuters, BBC all came out and said people were dying before they even realized that none of the money stopped yet. So this is just like your emotional blackmail. But do you have any actual evidence that any?
Yes.
That is 100% true. CNN, BBC, Reuters, and there was one more, the AP, all reported before they realized that the money hadn't stopped yet, that people were dying from money that was still flowing. So this is just emotional blackmail. But again, I'd like you to respond. If there's
let him respond before you jump in, Admiral.
Well, I was just going to throw one sentence to your she's right.
Let her respond before you do. Go ahead.
If you go to impactcounter.com, there's a methodology. Some PhDs tracked it. There's a lot of data. Like, it's not just what.
I mean, that's great. But I mean, let's talk about your other part of the question you asked us to reconcile this bridge. All right, so if we look at like the elections that have happened since USAID has been removed in South America specifically, there's been 7 elections. All 7 of those elections have moved from socialist communist governments to right-leaning populist governments that are pro-America. Would you say pro-American governments that are going to be more or less likely to attack the United States or harbor people that will injure the United States?
There's a lot of factors there that really depends.
So, I mean, it's pretty simple.
Economic desperation.
Oh, yeah, right. So if you're economically desperate, or how likely are you to be able to launch a successful attack here on the U.S. mainland? Probably not very. So I'll take that as a point for our side. And then if you're talking about economic military discrepancy,
I mean, it's a combination of like the motive.
Hybrid warfare. Yeah, well, the motive is gone because now they're all pro-USA. If you're a pro-USA country, unless you're Israel, maybe, you're not very likely to attack the United States. So what is your...
Right-wing governments are the more militaristic ones. You need the motive of some desperation, and then you need the actual military to wage a war.
To who? Because if we look at actually 218 examples of like throughout history, and the last thing, I actually did a study on this in college and published it to get one of my political theory certificates from the Bush Library, that most countries that are attacking generally are what we would call left-leaning democracies. Right-leaning countries attack once and then they end. Generally left-leaning democracies, i.e. NATO, Europe, United States, are the ones who attack and are more aggressive on a regular basis. So what evidence do you have to prove that wrong? Because that is unequivocally a fact.
Just as a quick thing for a quick reality check, what South American countries have launched wars against the United States in the last 30 or 40 years?
None, as far as I'm aware of. But
wait, so what was the point of saying the governments were switching to right-wing governments? Like, why does this matter?
Well, that's okay. That's easy. If you're allied with China, who's a left-wing government, if you're allied with, I don't know, Venezuela, who was under Maduro and Chavez and was trying to actively attack us with cyber warfare or had issues with us previously, I would say that it's a benefit. It behooves us to get rid of people that are pro-communist, pro-socialist, pro these countries that are pro, I guess it's SYNC now, but it used to be BRICS, organizations that are forming groups outside the United States' sphere of influence. Y'all are the liberals. Aren't y'all the ones who want the liberal world order that have this one kind of banking system, one economic currency? They're forming an outside currency system. Is that something you're a pro fan of?
I mean, I think that having people being allied with the United States and working closely with the United States instead of working with China is better. But right now, Canada is looking to a more Chinese approach than they ever have in the history of the entire relationship they've had between us and Canada, and that's largely due to Trump's aggressive response to them and trying to slice up the U.S. Mexico-Canada trade agreement, which is literally the only agreement he can take any kind of credit for. So I don't know why that would be a priority now, because it seems like we've done everything we can in order to alienate ourselves from our allies and push them towards China. So that seems kind of like a weird point to bring up. But I just on the South American countries switching to right-wing governments versus left-wing governments, right-wing or left-wing, I don't see all of these governments like launching wars or a single one ever launching a war against the United States. The last thing I think of is the whole Panama stuff, but that was in the '89. So I don't know I just don't know what relevancy that has to this year. I guess on a really basic level, just on a very, very basic level, like if somebody has the ability to do something good for somebody, and it doesn't cost them much to do it, do you think that people have a kind of moral obligation to that or no?
An obligation to that? I would say no. I think it's a good thing overall, but I don't think it's an obligation. No.
Do you think that people in general have moral obligations? Do we have an ethical obligation to be moral, or do you think that we can be amoral or indifferent to morality? Let's say a person walks by somebody on the street who's hungry, that person is going to starve to death, and you have an extra cheeseburger, and you could give the person the cheeseburger. Do you think that you have some kind of moral obligation to fulfill there, assuming you're not going to starve, you don't have to do it every single day, but you see a guy, he'll die if you don't give him, do you think a person would be a bad person for not giving him the cheeseburger?
I absolutely do think they'd be a bad person because support Texas beef, and we should make sure all the homeless get Texas burgers.
Okay.
But sure, no, I don't think you have a moral obligation. This person made their decisions. They ended up where they're at. Now, is it a good thing to do? Is it quote unquote the right thing to do? I'm not gonna judge someone for not giving. If I'm driving to the club that night and I see a hobo, I might not be giving the money because I want to spend it on bottle service, right? However, if I park my car in Houston downtown or something, I'll pay hobo $20. And this is something I've done many times. I'll give him $20. I say you can sleep in the bed of my truck while I'm gone. I'll come back and hey, guess what? My truck's the only one's not broken into. So I'd rather give them money for something that's like an exchange than just give out a handout. I think that's actually breeds problems in general. However, I don't want people just dying. It's a nice thing to do, but that shouldn't be the government's job. It should be things like churches or charities, in my opinion.
Okay, well, church or charity couldn't fulfill the same role the U.S. government does here, so that's kind of a pointless concession. But do you feel the same way, Dragon Fist TV? Do you think that people have an ethical obligation to help those around them if they have the ability to do so at little expense to themselves, or do you think it's just optional and it doesn't really matter much either way?
I do think that people should help if they can. However, overseas, like I said, this is like the quality leering of foreign policy here. There's no way for us to check, even if we look domestically as a reference at humanitarian programs like homeless initiatives in California, even here where it's much easier to track and check the money, we see it's getting wasted. So that's all great. Like I said, this is emotional blackmail. No problem. I'm down with helping people. But what I'm not going to do is just waste money. See what Destiny wants us to do is waste money here at home, waste money overseas with no actual evidence that any of these programs do any good for anybody. He hasn't been there and checked. We don't know exactly if the money is going to the places that they say it's going to. It doesn't even happen here in the United States. So I'm not saying I don't want to help people. I'm saying that we need to know, especially, would you agree, Destiny, that the national debt is an existential crisis that we're facing right now, or no?
Do you think that we should cut all funding and all subsidies for
Is
local...
it an existential crisis or not?
I do. That's why I think we should vote for Democrats. But do you think that we should
Okay,
cut
so we
all
agree on the
subsidization?
premise. My
Do-
premise
do-
is-
Hold on.
Should we cut all
let Daniel-
subsidies
sorry.
for
Yeah.
local agriculture in the United States then? I don't know why we subsidize them so much. We spend more on that than we do on USAID, or than we were on
You're
USAID.
talking about
We should
China. I
stop
think
doing that.
China owns most of our...
doing that.
What?
Like that we should stop. Listen, I know that we sit here and we talk about the subsidies, and we've gotten through this before.
Wait, no.
but
I just a
also-
super easy question. Should we kill all subsidies to local agriculture, animal ag, and farming ag in the U.S.?
I would argue as a rancher, yes, it has hurt us more than it's helped us. And I would argue even for farming, I know the ag side is different, but most of the subsidies have gone to large corporations, and they've hyper-focused things like corn. And when the corn industry crashed, it ruined other supplementary industries. We've seen this with soy industry. It artificially inflates a market that shouldn't be inflated. And the ag industry, when it has a crisis, it hurts it way more, and it also hurts the food web.
Should we end all subsidies? Should we subsidize nothing?
Well, no, I'm not a libertarian, but I would have to look at them individually. But I would say in ag,
What's one subsidy you might be for that you think the government should spend money on subsidizing something?
I don't know. Oh, okay. Right now, I think with the CHIPS Act is a good one. Maybe we can give subsidies to companies that want to invest in the nanotechnology. I mean, I think tech is a good industry to start pushing stuff right now. Space exploration are things I like. I mean, we could get specific, but these are all just like hypotheticals. I mean, I'm not inherently against any subsidy if it's done well, but currently the way the subsidies have been done have not been done well, especially with agriculture, in my opinion.
Okay. So assuming then, so neither of you really believe in any ethical obligation to support people overseas. Do you think that
I said yes. Wait, just to clarify, I said yes to that. I just don't want to waste the money.
What do you mean by waste the money?
I mean, we have no way of checking
We
that
have
these
plenty
funds
of
are
ways
getting
of
used.
checking. It's a whole federal
Can't
organization.
even
What do you
check
mean?
in California.
Wait, hold on.
Can't
That's
even
not
track
USAID.
the
Focus on
billions of
USAID.
dollars
What do you
spent
mean?
on homelessness
We
in
have
California. How are you tracking the Sudan? I'd like to hear that.
For which program? We could probably literally just look it up right
Housing
now.
kitchens in Sudan. How are you tracking that?
So which program?
That the money's actually going
aid
to
currently is
hold
cut
on.
to Sudan and South Sudan, which is
Why is it cut to Sudan?
Okay, just to be clear, the question here is how are we tracking overseas money through USAID? Is that the question?
Yes, sir.
Well, Rubio answered this, especially
Hold
specifically with Sudan recently.
Hold on. Gibbs. Let them answer the question. It's a question. How are we tracking the expenditures given
clearly
through
looking up the
USAID
answer.
to these other countries?
I'm looking it up. I don't know all of these off the top of the head, but
All right, well, we're trying to just debate you, not your entire chat. And but go ahead.
Well, the answer to your question
And
is
Google.
every single government thing has an attached watchdog that limits that tracks how the money is spent. You know nothing about grants or government's funding if you think that the money is just going into a black hole with no tracking for it. You clearly have never looked this up in your entire life, and I don't know individually how every single thing is accounted for. If you want, I'll place a friendly $50 bet with you right now, not knowing the answer off the top of my head, and we can look up to see if there's any tracking for money spent in Sudan. I know that I'm right. Do you really think
from the Lancet?
What?
We're going to get the answer from the Lancet. Where are we going to get the answer? That's the problem. Is you haven't been there. So if we're talking about Sudan specifically,
USAID was
they
the
still
agency that
practice
did the
chattel
tracking, and they're
slavery
gone
there,
now.
like down south style hereditary chattel slavery, and you're complaining about 1,000 meals that we're not giving them. If you really cared about them, why isn't that your issue? And are you going to trust these people? So you trust people that practice chattel slavery? That's what you're saying with our funds? Is that your position?
No, we don't.
Sophie, I want to know if that's your
problem
position.
with the funding.
You trust people
of
that
USAID, where
practice
most people
chattel
would actually critique
slavery
USAID,
with our
is that we
funds.
don't have local communities actually tracking their own data. There's a big problem where there are about 10 US DC based contractors that handled over 50% of these programs because they would have the white collar lawyers and accountants who would travel back and forth and have a very high salary to do so, actually monitoring these programs. That's a necessary part of any aid, is you need someone you can trust to do that. The problem with USAID is where there are rooms to reform the program, or any of those programs, or you need a more efficient way to do that, such as actually training and checking in on local watchdogs. But currently, it's all done by the US. Now it's out of our hands. So now we can't track that stuff because
USAID has been rolled into the State Department. The State Department is still overtaking a lot of these needs.
And it's part of agriculture.
No.
Well, hold on.
The USAID thing is essentially gone. They've rolled some administrative things into the State Department, the programs are basically gone.
Well, no, the 50 million. Well, sure, the programs are gone because the programs were NGO corrupt tools being used by the Democratic Party to funnel money. But
hold on, Gibbs.
We have I do have evidence. I'm so glad you asked. In fact,
funneling money to the Democratic Party.
In fact, we have Ukrainian officials on record right now before testimony. One of the senators gave it this week, talking about, hey, I forget which one, but I'm sure we can look it up. Somebody's got the AI going. They basically were saying we had them on file saying they were going to funnel money from USAID back into the Democratic Party on record talking to the Biden. So this is something that's come up several times. We've seen examples of this in other countries. It's crazy how, like I said, all these leftist governments just fail and right-wing governments came in the minute USAID is gone. I mean, and we brought up Sudan. Rubio addressed this specifically with what happened in Sudan. He said, Sudan, what's happening is there's a war zone. So one, it's hard to get the aid out there. So aid just sitting in pallets, not being used, going to waste. Two, the people that are doing the aid out there are getting attacked and they're taking the aid away, which I guess is not the aid workers' problem. But then what's happening is the aid is being used against its own people by the groups that are in power in Sudan. And so, one, even if you think, hey, it's not an NGO corruption scheme, and we want things like the Sudanese to get help, well, guess what? You still haven't answered the problem, because this is just soft power. We're not sending the troops in there. What happens when you have groups like in Haiti, where you have the gangs running the country, or Sudan, where these bad groups get in there and they use this aid to oppress their people further, or use it to bribe these people and fund their warfare, et cetera, and you don't have an answer for that. And the answer is we stop funding those countries till they figure their shit out, or we send troops in, or someone sends troops in. And I don't want to keep just throwing money at a hole. Listen, I have a lot of money, but even then, it doesn't make sense to burn money every day.
You keep saying you hate soft power, but then you keep advocating for ideologically friendly governments, which is soft power and is actually how former administrations did wield USAID.
I hate
you don't seem to have a problem with trading with slaveholders. That's my point. Neither one of you even answered the question. So you both want us to continue to give money to slaveholders in Sudan, right? That's Destiny. That's your position as well.
It would depend on one. It would depend on who's getting the money, and it would depend on what the money is being received for. I'm not aware of what was the particular program that was giving money to slaveholders, and what was the purpose for it in Sudan?
It was 1,000 kitchens in Sudan to stop people from starving. Go ahead, Gibbs. You can take it.
Was it to every single? Wait, hold on. Wait. 1,000 kitchens to who? Sudan is a.
Hold on. Before Gibbs goes, let the back and forth happen.
Fixing my camera. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1,000 kitchens. Okay, it's a country of like 50 million people. I Googled that. I didn't know that off the top of my head. I'm sorry if that's upsetting you. But so were the 1,000 kitchens going exclusively to the slaveholders, or?
Well, I'm saying that the country practices chattel slavery.
The whole
and this
country,
is exactly
every
the
part of the country, the whole country does.
So my point for me, there's no way of knowing exactly where that money goes. However, it's likely to me, if this country is practicing things like slavery that your side hates so much, right?
Does your side not hate slavery?
Does your side not?
Yeah, we're the party that ended it. That's correct. Lincoln was the first Republican. You could try to steal that from us, but that's fine. We switched, right?
The liberals ended slavery.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure they did. The Democrats didn't weren't the ones that
Christian abolitionists, but that's
okay. Let's stay on target. We can debate the Civil War another day.
Sure. So my point is just that I don't trust these people. We don't know where the money, and I'm fine with giving aid. I'm fine with soft power. I don't want anybody to die. Like liberals that are listening, I'm not like here saying this is the side that doesn't care that we just aborted a third of Gen Z. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we should save these people. Let's just make sure we're not wasting the money that's earmarked for our children, for our grandchildren, and for us to still have a country, because we know that the same thing happens every time an empire is about to crumble, right? Destiny knows what it is. Everyone knows what it is. It's all over YouTube videos and TikToks that they take on massive debt. Everybody knows that, right? So that's what I'm trying to prevent. Like, we have this glaring example from history, and we're just barreling towards it anyway. You tell me how that's a good idea.
Wait, hold on, just real quick. Are you in favor of rolling back the Trump tax cuts?
Can we stay on USAID?
I'm just a quick thing. Are you in favor of rolling back the Trump tax cuts?
Please, we can get to that later, but I'd like to stay on USAID just so we don't get diverted.
We can, but USAID.
Real quick, both of you, please. He's asking that because he's leading.
Wait, I don't need you to tell me why I'm asking a question. If you're really serious, if you're talking about this as an existential threat, USAID was hovering at maybe 1% of our federal spending. Trump Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is costing us hundreds of billions of dollars in tax revenue. Who knows, projected into the trillions after 10 years, depending on where the economy even pans out. So are you... I don't understand where this obsession with dealing with the debt comes from.
Rid of all waste, fraud, abuse, and even some of these programs we can get into.
I didn't say waste, fraud, and abuse. I didn't say waste, fraud, and abuse. I didn't say waste, fraud, and abuse. That was a failure. You guys hold on. You acknowledge that the waste, fraud, and abuse.
Aren't you claiming that the Trump tax cuts are wasteful, as in reference to the national debt? I'm just checking real quick.
You acknowledge that Doge's mission was a complete and total failure, and given free reign of the government, you guys weren't able to find waste, fraud, and abuse, right?
I just listed you. So transgender comic books aren't wasteful.
What do you think waste, fraud, and abuse means? What do you think? What do you think waste?
By the State Department.
What do you think waste, fraud, and abuse is?
It's about education.
That's what I would consider wasteful, and that might be the difference. That we have different opinions. I
some
think
of us have
diversity,
experience in business, some of us don't.
Is wasteful. Yeah.
How do you define waste, fraud, and abuse? What does that mean to you in a business setting?
So wasteful would be funds that we are spending, that we are bringing us no benefit whatsoever. None. It's a complete waste. There's no benefit to us, and some of these are actually a net negative to us, which I could show. Things funded by USAID.
What is the difference between waste?
EcoHealth that funded gain of function.
No, yeah.
That's funded gain of
this
function.
doesn't happen.
EcoHealth.
What is the difference between? That's not true. What is the difference between wasteful
That's not
spending?
true.
That's not true.
What's the difference gain of function?
Hold on. One at a time.
Do you have any proof of that claim?
More
that
than
you
you'd ever know. Yes, that the whole diffuse thing that you're talking about, that grant wasn't even approved. All of that is a fucking lie, but that's okay. The wasteful spending that you're talking about. What's the difference between wasteful spending and spending on things that you personally don't like?
I guess whatever political party is in power.
Okay, so is that a real definition then of waste, or is that just like a perspective politically? Do you really think there's not a definition of wasteful spending? Do you not know what that means?
It's going to vary depending on clearly she doesn't think it's wasteful. Clearly she thinks that it's important to send money for LGBT issues overseas when clearly I don't. So we have a difference of opinion there.
It's not. Well, there's a right and a wrong. When somebody says waste, fraud, and abuse,
security, right? It's not national security. We could cut it.
So you have no idea when somebody says waste, fraud, and abuse, it's just things that you don't like. That's what waste, fraud, and abuse is.
I don't have that same definition. But what do you define it as, Destiny?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
If we're doing like an audit and you're looking for like waste, fraud, or abuse, in my mind, waste is going to be like, let's say that we need a subscription for some fucking Microsoft program for the floor, and we find out that every single employee has like 7 different subscriptions, even though they use the same computer, right? Oh, this is waste. This is wasteful spending. We're duplicate spending in places. Let's say that we are providing food budgets for people that are so high that they don't need them, but then at the end of the year, for some reason, the food budget literally gets wasted because they're going onto Visa cards that are from the This is like waste, right? Fraud is like people are actually defrauding people. They're lying on forums about stealing money or whatever else. And then abuse would be similar to fraud, that people are maybe they're giving preferential contracts to friends that they shouldn't be, and it's costing more money than it should. This is like waste, fraud, and abuse. That should be an apolitical, bipartisan. Every single person should be able to look at a thing and go like, oh yeah, that's wasteful, fraudulent, or abusive.
That's what I'm trying to show you.
No, you're not. You're saying waste to you is things that you don't like.
I'm showing you transgender comic books.
But not a transgender comic book, okay? It was a 3-part comic series about education and exchange programs that featured a gay character in one of the 3 volumes.
Bringing examples,
and it was funded by the State Department, not USAID. You keep telling that same lie, repeating that. It's not true. There was no transgender comic book. It was a State Department-funded 3-part series about education, which you want to promote.
There was no transgender comic books? Is that what you're saying?
How can you even know if there were transgender comic books if you're telling us there was no monitoring for any of these funds anyway?
No, so you can't know where the funds went, who they went to, who actually, we know what they're earmarked for. That's different than who actually receives
was spending
it
the money
and
on.
what they actually. I would admit you're probably right. They probably don't actually spend it on transgender comic books. You guys just think that that's really where it's going. So you're like, sure, send it. What we're trying to say is no.
That's a lie. It's a mischaracterization.
Not even saying
no one was paying for a transgender comic book.
How do you know? Because you say so? What evidence?
Because I have the comic book up.
It's in the report.
You can look this up.
Did you check every comic book?
You can believe in knowledge. No, I did not check every comic book. But this was about one specific project you can actually look up.
Okay, can I?
You have not looked it up. So I don't know where you're getting your information, but how can you trust that?
So I mean, I'll go with. First of all, I don't really care about the transgender comic books. Like that could be a thing that helps us or hurt us, depending. I don't know. Listen, but I want to come back to what Destiny's talking about with the waste. Okay, I'm going to give 2 examples. One is for the VA. I know it's not the USAID, but okay, Doge. One of the things Doge cut was funding to the VA, and I heard a lot of bitch about it. Specifically, one of the departments that got defunded is a department in Georgia that got defunded for having orgies on taxpayer dollars. Would we agree? I think we can all agree that. Listen, I love a good orgy. I'm a degenerate. Right, but I think we can agree that my tax dollars shouldn't be going to pay for the orgy. Can we all agree with that? Like that's something Doge cut, right? Okay, and then now we're talking about funding overseas for U.S.
characterization. Do you have a source for that characterization?
Apparently, the source is literally Jesse Waters said this one time on Fox News, and I don't think there's any actual truth of. Are you saying that what they were funding, like protection for the orgy? Sure. What is the source?
No.
Yeah, just read it off to us.
Source, yeah, here's a New York Post. Sex trades workers at troubled VA facility at a 12-person orgy, and one official batted 32 co-workers, according to Bombshell Pros by Patrick Riley. If you want the source, I can just post it in the side chat, or I'll give it to Wick, and he can send it. I mean, like, I'm not trying to be bad faith here. The point that I'm making is there's areas where we've had corruption and fraud, and I think that's part of what we wanted with Doge. And when we're talking about USAID, it seems to be that
hold on, wait, hold on, one thing at a time. It sounds like this was just an orgy that some VA people had. What is this taxpayer-funded orgy? What does that mean?
they funded the rooms and shit like for this orgy. They funded, and one of them was at a facility.
When you say,
arguably,
hold on, if you
arguably it was one of them was at the facility.
let me know when you're done.
So if I'm having
I'm
orgy at
curious.
work,
I've
This is
never heard
retarded.
this before.
yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
Wait, hold on, wait.
Like-
Hold on. If two people hook up in an office, are you saying that like it was a McDonald's funded orgy or a McDonald's funded sexual adventure? Was this like the orgy room, or are these just people who were banging at a?
Yeah, that's the problem is they were doing it on office places at the office, and they also used funds to go to like places and then have sex off like work hours.
What do you mean
like,
by
on
used
backstage
funds to have sex in
They
off
pay-
work hours? What does that mean?
Okay, listen. Let's say we're gonna have the
Buying
Diddy
condoms
party.
with the company
Yeah.
card.
Yes, yeah, well, sure. I guess that'd be one thing. But say we're gonna have the Diddy party, and I decide to use the company card to pay for the Motel 6 that we're having the orgy at. Do you think that that's a good use of taxpayer dollars to have the money spent specifically on a Motel 6? Not like we're just going over.
That would be fraud or abuse. I would say that would be a good fraud or abuse.
Okay, good. So we agree.
But was that happening?
Okay.
That's also not.
That's the alleged crime. Okay.
Alleged.
Listen.
Well, this was published. This article that you just
Pro.
referenced was published December 4th, 2024. And all I
Right,
see
that's
here is
pro.
this. It's a congressional investigation into sexual misconduct allegations at a troubled VA facility in Tennessee, where 12
Right.
officials who worked there took part in an orgy. I don't even know if they were fucking on site.
Yeah, it goes into all that. There's a bunch of articles about it. But the point that I'm making, you can read.
Wait. Is there? Give me the strongest article that shows did they even have sex on
That's what I
site?
was- They're allegation. Okay, bro. Just going in this article. It talks about all the stuff. There's talks about at which medical center they do this at. They talk about like the hotels. They talk about all sorts of different stuff. Like, I mean, we're really getting lost in the weeds here. I thought we were talking about USAID, which I had another point.
Well, no, this was
I
one
trying-
example that you
brought
brought
up.
up.
Well, here's what I was trying to do. I was
This is
trying
a
to
really
give.
Okay,
pathetic-
it said at least
Hold on,
two
hold on.
employees.
First
We have
of all-
two employees fessed up to having sex on the VA hospital's grounds. Does this mean they were using taxpayer-funded money to?
Yeah, if they were doing it on clock, yeah, that means they're using taxpayer-funded money.
Okay,
Like,
that's a wild.
Where do you
Oh
have
my
evidence it was on
God.
the clock? Was this like
Well,
9 to
listen,
5, or is this like
once again, y'all get lost in the weeds. The point what I was trying to do is to get us all to agree on the definition of what waste would be, which I thought we did. If we agreed that they were using the money to fund this, that would be an orgy, right?
But
Like
no,
that-
they're
like
not
an
using the
orgy.
money
One
to
example of
fund
this is
it.
That's a
It
waste
sounds
of
like
money.
the employees
Okay.
were fucking. I don't even know if it was on the clock, but that's not you. That's not like there was money earmarked for federal orgies.
No, I agree, and that's why it would be fraud and abuse, correct? If it was done that way.
This
and I
thing
think
that wouldn't happen would be wasteful if it happened. Yes.
They definitely fuck on the clock. We saw them do it like in the halls of Congress. So don't act like it's so crazy that they wouldn't
Now,
do this.
I don't know why we're like,
What?
yeah, and also I don't know why.
Yeah,
if you're
what do you mean
getting
what?
What?
They
paid
were
by the
two
hour.
dudes
Hold on,
banging
if I'm
and
getting
inviting
paid
his
by
friends. Don't act like it
McDonald's,
Both
didn't
of you,
happen.
both of you, just shut up for a minute, please.
if I'm getting paid by McDonald's, I'm fucking
Oh,
somebody in the bathroom.
Gibbs, do
while
you
I'm
not
getting paid.
understand the meaning of shut up?
Yeah.
Shut up for a minute, because I'm trying to get us back on track and kind of put a pin in the orgy discussion. For
Yeah, well, I
next
had a
week.
point that I was trying to
Go
make,
back
though,
to
by
it.
the way, for the record.
So just to be clear, in the article, it's saying that people who were employed by the VA had sex at the VA, and your argument is that that means that the funding that was going to the VA was fraudulent, wasteful, or abusive.
Yes, it's that.
Okay,
If
if
they were
that's your
doing it on
argument,
the
that's
clock-
your argument. Okay,
Sure, yeah,
let's
I'm
get back to USAID.
Well, okay, you're right. Which leads me back to what was going to be Haiti and Sudan, right? Okay, cool. If we're sitting here talking about waste, I would argue that it's wasteful if I send all the aid in the world to Haiti and then barbecue steals the aid and then uses it to fund his people. Would you agree that's a waste of USAID?
If barbecue steals the, I'm sorry, say that last part again.
Barbecue's is one of the biggest gang leaders in Haiti, right? He and his gang leaders that are in charge of the capital or were took over the aid, like took the aid.
If
trucks,
people are
raided the
stealing aid, that's not good. Yes.
that's not good, right? Okay, so that would be inefficient and for waste and abuse, right?
I don't know if I would call it abuse. It
Abuse,
might
but
theoretically
waste,
be
sure.
wasteful. Yeah, if that usually programs start to
To
get cut when they
waste it,
find
it's
that
not
like
wasteful
local
funding.
people are co-opting
And
all of the
so-
stuff in a bad way. Yeah, so usually, yeah.
So she's right here as trying to characterize it. I'm not opposed to soft power inherently. I am opposed, and I don't think Dragonfist either, but I am opposed to how it's being done currently with USAID. One, I think it's corrupt, but two, even if it's not being done corrupt, I think it's being done inefficiently and poorly because we're throwing money at the problem and we don't have a real solution. Why throw money into Sudan? And I as much as one that
Here's okay. Here, this is how you short circuit this whole argument, and you'll have a
shit.
quote for this. But like, this is how you short circuit this entire argument. Okay.
I'll have a coat. Don't worry.
If you tell me that you don't like this because the money is going to somebody bad or whatever, then the easy answer is, okay, well, what steps did they take to try to alleviate that circumstance before just cutting the program entirely?
So spend more money on it then.
How do you think you watchdog things? How do you think you do accounting and auditing? Yeah, you have to spend a little bit more money to audit things. Do you think it's free?
Okay,
Literally, all of the coherent critiques of the USAID
Or we just
were
cut
about
it.
the administrative overhead.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll just cut it. Yeah.
fine. But then you don't
Put the
care
money
about
somewhere else.
that it's going to
hire
slavers. Or you don't care about any of that shit. You just cut it
I
because
don't-
if you
I will
actually
admit that I don't
cared,
give
if you
a shit.
actually cared, then
I
you
don't
would
care.
try to find ways to spend the money better. But you don't. You just want to cut it all. That's it.
I don't care. I don't care if I'm going to.
Okay.
I want it to go to people that it's supposed to either A, it's supposed to go to, or B, they're going to help us further along the United.
Yeah, that never
States
happens
cause.
though, and your side never does that. So I don't know why you
Does
have that
happen all the
position
time.
either. What funds
Happens all
did
the
Trump
time.
redirect?
Redirect. Oh, yeah, I got those notes right here. Go ahead. And Andrew, you want to say
Well,
something?
that's also a straw man because it's not just that we don't care. It's not just like, oh, you guys don't care. You just want to cut the program. No, if you listen to the premise of my argument, at least, it's we have this existential problem, which you agreed to, Des. You said it's an existential problem. It's the reason that the middle class and the elite, that there's such a big gap. Every year when we don't pay off the national debt, they have to print more money. Every year the gap gets wider. It's an existential threat. So that's why we're saying, hold on a second. We can't waste
But it
any
doesn't
of
make
this money.
sense when you say
How
we.
is that a problem?
because it doesn't.
You would do the same thing with your money. You wouldn't just fucking waste it.
It doesn't-
If you were.
Now
Yeah.
do the example for this. Okay, yeah. It doesn't make sense that all the people who wanted to cut USAID are complaining about the deficit when all of them are also the largest deficit spenders. That doesn't make any sense to me. Make that make
That's an
sense
appeal
to
to
me.
hypocrisy. You know that doesn't mean anything, first of all. And
No,
what,
no,
we
no, no, no,
can't
no, 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 no,
look at-
no,
we
no,
can't
stop.
look at
Can-
this over here
Hold on,
because
hold on,
there's
hold on,
also
hold on,
this
hold
over
on.
here we're not
Hold on.
talking
Let him make
about.
his argument. Let him make his argument, and then you can respond. Destiny, make your argument. It's
Appeal
not-
to hypocrisy is showing that a person had a personal failing or something that contradicted a stated position, and to say that like, oh look, you can. So somebody says, I think that murder is wrong, and it's like, well, didn't you kill your wife? And it's like, oh fuck, you got me, right? That would be an appeal to hypocrisy. If I say that all the same people,
It's inconsistent. It's inconsistent worldview. I misspoke.
correct.
Inconsistent.
Well, that's important because inconsistencies don't make sense. If you think that the debt is like the biggest problem in America, and all the people who are conservative and wanted to kill USAID seem to think that, but they're also all the largest spenders in the country, that makes me think that that's not honesty. Something is dishonest about this
It's
position.
the same exact thing that you're doing when you talk about worrying about people dying overseas, but you don't care that we aborted a third of Gen Z. You're doing this. You have the same exact inconsistent worldview. So, okay, not appeal to hypocrisy, inconsistent worldview. Fine, it doesn't matter. We could still look at those funds and say we need to cut them. Should we cut wasteful funds? Do we need transgender comic books? Yes or no?
I don't think money was going to transgender comic books.
Do we need them?
Money
Is
was
that
not
something
going to
you can-
transgender comic books.
That wasn't the question. If it was going there, should we cut that?
It would depend on what the
That is an
program
irrational
was.
place to start.
What? See what?
Should we cut it?
It would depend on what the program was. I don't know. You'd have to tell me more.
Transgender comic books.
I
You
don't
know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that means. Are you talking about like a holistic program that
If
does
we're
fucking comic books for
offended,
kids?
exactly. It's
You
so
have no, you
stupid.
can't engage. I
You
do
don't
agree
even
it
wanna
is
pretend
stupid.
it's real.
I do
That's
agree
the
it is
tactic.
stupid. Because it
can't
doesn't.
even-
Hold on, wait.
I know the answer about the
Hold on,
program.
wait,
It's
wait.
your
Stop,
program.
stop. He's owned me. Show me the transgender comic books. Well, wait. I'll wait.
Oh, you think I have them?
No,
You
no.
think I'm a
Show me
transgender
online. Link me
comic
the
book
$2 million
collector?
transgender
And
comic books. I'll wait.
Maybe you missed it again. Maybe you missed it again. Is that we don't know if they're actually spending. They're probably not actually printing transgender comic books. But this is what it's
are not.
earmarked for. This is what it's earmarked for.
Nope, that's not what it was earmarked
Show
for.
me
That
the
is not
earmark.
true.
Show me the earmark. Show us the earmark.
Because
Show us the earmark.
this is known.
Show us the earmark.
Show us the earmark.
Checked all the earmarks.
Show it. Show me
DM
the
me,
earmark. Where is
DM me
it?
your link, DM me your evidence, and I'll show it on screen.
Also, while y'all mentioned the redirect thing, real quick, just to redirect some of the things.
Oh,
that
hold
we
on.
have-
Let him
Okay.
DM me the earmark or the source that he has that shows the earmark.
Are you talking about me? Why do you have her DM you the
Because
source
you
that
made
it
the
wasn't?
allegation there is $2 million
Said it
earmarked for
definitely
transgender
wasn't. How
comic
do you
book,
know that?
And you have not
How do
proved
you know
that.
it definitely wasn't?
What do we have to do? Find every single dollar earmarked by USA, go through
We
every
have to
single
find
thing, and then
every
say that.
single- How do we know it was?
If it's not true, right? This is what they're saying it was earmarked for. I'm
No,
not
you are making the
arguing-
claim, and you need to prove
I'm
the
not
claim.
arguing with the government. That's what it's.
You have
saying.
asserted
can
this
look at
idea of $2 million paid by
I have
USA
it.
for transgender
I have
comic
it.
books.
I have
They
the-
have
I have
not
it.
sourced that.
He's got
Okay,
it. I'm not
DM
making
someone
it up.
DM
It is a
it.
real claim. I didn't just put it out of my I'm not making it up. You know I'm not. It's a
Oh,
real.
how
claim.
do we?
You
Hold
are
on.
making
No,
it
hold
up.
on.
You have
Stop.
not proved
How
otherwise.
How do we
You
know you're not making it up?
He's going to give you the evidence. I could find it also. I didn't know we were looking stuff up here during the debate.
So you made this claim without evidence?
You make every claim without evidence.
Not true.
My evidence is $39 trillion debt that we're
That's not
accumulating faster than we're paying down.
That's not
the
evidence that would
ultimate
fail a
evidence.
middle
That
school
is
essay.
evidence.
You know
It's
that does not prove your claim.
both
That
sides
is
agree
stupid.
on it.
You
It's
would
an
fail
existential
an 8th grade
That
class.
is evidence. evidence.
do not have
And
evidence of the
we're
claim
growing
you
it
allege.
faster than we're paying it down. Where is your evidence that any of this money is helping anyone? I'll wait.
Okay, so I've been sent two things.
There's evidence?
They're not my. By the way, those are the sources that say it. These are not. This is not my claim.
Okay, I found what I think is the earmark. So the description for this is to cover expenses to produce a tailor-made comic featuring an LGBTQ plus hero to address social and mental health issues. So I don't even know if he's trans. He could just be gay. And it looks like the funding amount was $32,000. That's one that I see.
I didn't list an amount, did I? I said monies.
I thought you said $2 million. Did I miss that? I thought you said $2 million.
$2 million by USAID. It was $32,000 by the State Department.
Yeah, the $2 million is at the
So
program.
should we not say anything? Just let it go? Can I have $32,000?
You should have
Just let it
proof
go?
before you say
Just
shit.
give me $32,000. We're just letting money go. I'll take it. Like, why did they get it?
It sounds like it's a public diplomacy
Okay, so
program.
can we cut it, Destiny?
If you want, then
was a
get the
three-part
political
comic series on
support to cut the
education
program and do
exchange
it.
programs
Don't just go
with
through and
Destiny,
pretend
do
you're
you
fighting
think
waste,
we
fraud, and
should cut
abuse.
it?
I think we should cut funding to every red state until we lose enough of these people that we could carry on with our country in like a
I'm trying to
holistic
help.
way.
Hey,
Jesus.
Trying to help
okay,
cut the
that-
national debt. I'm not trying to hurt
You're
you.
not. You don't
Like,
support
why
anything
is
to
it-
cut.
rational
You
way
don't
to
support
approach
anything to
reducing
cut the
national
national
debt.
debt. You guys are the biggest spenders in the history of the country. Trump on his own is almost responsible for a third of the fucking debt. Are you in favor of our current war in Iran?
Base.
I never supported the war in Iran. You could check on my page from the first day.
How about we start there?
I like
Because of
it.
this exact
I'm also
reason.
not
So at
making
least I'm
sense.
consistent.
Anyway.
Because of this exact reason that it doesn't help us at home. It's a huge waste of money.
How
that
do you
doesn't
know?
help.
Wait. Sorry, hold on. I
You
forgot.
can
Wait.
make a claim.
I didn't. Hold on. I'm sorry. I forgot a pre-question first. Hold on.
That's just my opinion.
I
on-
agree.
on
I agree.
Iran.
Wait, that
It's
might have
not a-
been.
it's
I
not a-
agree.
Hey, what do you
Wait. Real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Answer the
Wait,
question. I
Wait.
answered
I
it.
agree. I'm just asking one question, Dragon. Did anybody have foreknowledge of 9/11 and didn't tell the United States?
I'm not. I'm not
Alex
aware,
Jones?
sir.
You're what?
Alex Jones.
I'm not aware, sir.
Do you believe that?
If they had that knowledge or not.
Wait, who's they?
I'm assuming they did because you said that.
Okay. Who's they? Who am I talking
They
about?
or not? Tell me the story. I don't know. I don't know every.
All
tell
right.
me.
Okay. I understand why you're going to say
Did
that.
they or not? I want to know what your point is. What is your point?
I don't have a point. I was asking a question.
What is your point? Okay.
Okay.
So I did send the thing to UWIC, but I think it's $2 million was like earmarked.
You
to
sent me
go
the
on
same
all
thing he sent me. It's the same page.
Oh.
Alice sent something else. A fact check
Is this
site.
the direct
I'll just
link
throw that on screen real quick.
To the comic.
Where here do you want me to show this precisely?
It's the last section.
A transgender comic book in Peru. This one.
Yes.
In 2021, the U.S. Embassy in Peru introduced a comic book called The Power of Education, in which it used to promote education exchange programs in the U.S. The following year, the embassy commissioned a second volume. The embassy asked us to introduce a gay student, number 2, to show his personal struggle coming out to his parents, but that has zero to do with being transgender. David Campiti, who owns a company who produced the comic book, told us in an email. The comics were about scholarships and furthering education, and it goes on, but it seems to be saying that, at least according to this source, that there wasn't a transgender comic book in Peru. It was about education, and one of the characters was gay.
Irrelevant to my point. Still a huge waste.
Nope.
Irrelevant to my point. Does that make
true.
it not
Your
a
whole
waste?
point was a lie about that.
No, it wasn't. It's a fucking huge
You lied
waste.
about the funding amount, where the funding came from.
I didn't
and
say
you're
a
not
funding
proving any
amount.
waste.
I didn't
hold
say
on.
it.
Didn't even bother
I
to
didn't
million-
prove it.
understand
He
million
just
is
proved
the
it
intended
for
impact
me.
it would
It
have.
doesn't matter
million
if
is
it's
claimed because
30,000,
Guatemala,
5
not
million.
Peru,
He
so
just proved the waste.
But that's neither here nor there.
He just proved it. What do you mean? You said it's not happening. He looked up the gay comic book. If it's a single dollar, it's a waste. Why
How
should
is
we
that a
send it
waste?
there?
How do you know? How are you measuring that?
Because
You said before, it's just
gay
your opinion.
comic books overseas are a waste when we're in so
It's
much
an
debt
education
that it's
exchange program for a
snowballing
comic book.
and it's eliminating our middle class. I would say gay comic books can take a fucking back seat for now. Once we fix that, then we can worry about the comic books overseas. This is like
Promoting
a serious
educational
issue. I don't know
outcomes
why.
in Peru is
like, you
good
think
for the world and improves economic conditions in Peru, which makes them a more.
Who gives a
developing
shit if
country
our
and more viable
economic
trading
conditions
partner for the
here
United
are
States.
failing? Have you ever been on a plane where they tell you put the mask on yourself first, then you put it on the other person? If we fail, guess what? We can't help anybody. So then what happens to all those people you don't care about, that you care about? What happens to them then when we can't help them anymore because we failed? How do we help anybody if we fail?
You have in no way proven the logic that we are not allowed to fund any overseas programs to help anyone else until
Well,
we
nobody's
have
saying
helped
that. You keep
ourselves.
Nobody said
commenting.
that.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
keep
straw man.
commenting.
That was
Yeah,
the entire point of your analogy about you have to put your mask on yourself before
Hold,
someone else.
no, no,
Yes,
hold
that
on, hold
was-
on.
No, it wasn't.
Like you may
hold
struggle
on.
with analogies because you also
You-
struggle with like evidence
No,
and basic
no,
citations.
the
So
national
that's just
debt,
kind of where
same
you're at.
premise I've had the
Hold on, you
entire
just-
time. You
hold
can't
on.
follow the argument, that's fine. The
Yeah, you
national
would-
debt is an existential threat. Therefore, we must cut programs that aren't directly related to national security. So
You have not
in
proved this an accidental
for
threat, and you're
national
taking an
security,
irrational
so
approach
we can
to
continue to
producing
help
the national
others.
debt.
That
first
is
of
the
all-
argument.
First of all, you've only made one-liners, so I wouldn't be talking about evidence. I mean, like you pointed this one to 32,000. You keep talking about that. Yeah, that's cool. But the claim originally, this is the one I sent, Wick. I don't know why if it's the same one, but the thing I sent, the claim is 2 million to LGBTQ activism, and I think it's Latin America and specifically Guatemala. Not that I really give a shit because I don't care. I'm not on the same like diehard thing that he's talking about. However, when I'm talking about waste and inefficiency, I listen. I'm not opposed to soft power in general. I just think USAID was not the way to do it. I think that we need to redo it, and this is the kind of the point I wanted to get back to when I brought this up here. Some of the restructuring we've said, we've cut. We've done United Nations funding. We've cut that. I think that's some good. But then we pledged $2 billion blanket fund to them through OCHA. I was like, okay, that's the decrease in DOU in a humanitarian fund, but it's still the largest amount being given by anybody. We also are doing direct cash assistance. We saw how the microloan program has worked, so we're doing a program called Macro Awards through the State Department. That seems to be going very well. And then we're excluding certain climate things that other countries weren't following, like China, that were hurting us economically. And now, we're like, why are we going to do these things if other countries aren't doing it? And I'll give you an example: screwworm, right? We talked about this, whose fault it is, whatever. Well, it passed the Darien Gap, and they kept funding fly systems in the Darien Gap. Well, once it's passed it, why are we wasting money on something that's already failed? We need to reuse that money to go use it more efficiently to like stop the screwworm in a different spot, not keep funding where it's already failed, right? So I think that when you're sitting here saying no soft power, that's just the best characterization of like what's happening with Republicans. We just don't like the inefficiency, the corruption, or where we perceive waste. Now, I'm not on the board with like Andrew here necessarily about the anti-LGBTQ crusade. However, it does seem hard for me when I see grants being given out to study like butchers' languages in like France, right? Why do we care about that? It's like $200K, not it's a drop in the butt. Like I don't care. Some of these might even be CIA black programs. I don't really care. But the point is that some of these are wasteful, and we don't need to do them when there's money we can spend that money differently here. And I don't necessarily even care about the debt as the issue. I care about shit being done in a way that's going to help America.
Okay.
Right? USA
We gotta let
doesn't
the
do
other
that.
people respond.
Sure,
Go
don't
ahead.
worry. I had waited like 10 minutes. Relax there. I'm done. Yeah, that's it. I was done.
I mean, like we're just back where we were before. It's basically these are spending things that you just don't like, and then you confuse that with waste, fraud, and abuse, and then you say that it's a waste of money to spend things on here, and we should be spending more domestically, but conservatives never have anything more that they want to spend domestically on, and they seem to waste so much money on other things, and they constantly grow the debt and deficit, so it's hard to take any complaints about deficit spending seriously. And then even for like, oh, well, soft power isn't as good as hard power, blah, 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 like every time Trump comes into office, we get more and more hated by other countries on the world. Our reputation is like at an all-time low right now, so it seems like any plans that we have with regards to making the United States more respected or increasing our power is not working out at all in favor of us. We're not doing well on a respect level where we've lost like the worst war maybe in all of U.S. history ever under like the pro-war kind of Department of War president. It seems like every country around the world doesn't want to work with us. Trump is begging like a pathetic baby for NATO to come and help him in the Strait of Hormuz, and nobody wants to help him because he literally was shitting on everybody a while ago. China is looking to Canada. Canada is looking to China. Trump wants to tear up the largest trade agreement region in the world for I'm not even entirely sure why. You guys are complaining about wasted money in USAID, and Trump is spending money on UFCs outside in ballrooms and everything else. And I just don't know. There's just like no consistency. It seems like you just hate the concept of soft power because crazy Republican guy or Alex Jones told you it was an evil, bad program, and then that's where the thoughts basically start and stop, and that's it.
It's another straw man.
Yeah, what were the 4 objectives of the war, by the way, just real quick, because Rubio stated them.
At one point, he might have, but I mean, that was after we'd gone
they're
back
all
and forth.
accomplished. It was destroy their ability to produce, missiles and weapons and shit. Okay, we've done that. It was destroy their navy. Their navy's gone, gone. Right. It was degrade their ability to give money to Hezbollah and their access to terror. That's gone. Hezbollah is the weakest it's ever been. Hamas is basically on his back legs. The Houthis are like they're still around, but they're not nearly as good. So yeah, we've done all these things. And then the fourth one was like, stop them from making money and shit. Like so, once again, we've hurt them going to take out their leadership, right? We've took out their leadership. That's pretty.
Do you acknowledge that
we're on their like fifth person now? Like we bomb them.
Iran
so
is
often
like
generals don't even answer the phones.
Iran is gearing up to be the strongest nation it's ever been in the history of its entire existence. Are you not aware of that?
Yeah, I'm going to need whatever weed you're smoking because that
the
is
weed that says that
crazy
Trump is
talk.
offering them full sanctions relief and the ability to basically tax stuff going through the Strait of Hormuz and the ability to tell Israel that they're not even allowed to strike Hezbollah in Lebanon anymore. That's why Israel is freaking the fuck out so much about it. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, because Israel's our attack dog. Sometimes you got to smack your attack dog, let them know who's daddy. Like, I mean, like,
You're aware that Israel is the one that smacked us around to get us into Iran, right? Even your friend here would probably agree with that, right?
We backed them. We backed them when we needed. And
we
now
didn't back them. We got pulled in. Trump got pulled in. He got led around like a child on a leash, right?
Wait, you're the one who's y'all are the ones you're saying we don't back our
Okay.
allies. Then one time we go back our allies, now y'all upset we're doing it. So like, what is it? Are you mad that we're not going to be backing our NATO allies? Or are you mad that we're backing Israel because they're our ally? Like, which is it? Because that's the whole point of agreements, isn't it? That's what I get told by Wick and all these other people when I come on here is that we need to honor our agreements internationally.
Yeah, we don't have formal agreements with Israel to help them in offensive wars. We don't have formal agreements with any country on the planet to help them in an offensive war with anybody else. Israel is absolutely not a NATO ally, so I don't know why you'd bring that up. And this is not us backing our allies in a mutually beneficial war. It's trying to back Israel in a crazy war because Trump is actually fucking retarded and doesn't know what he's doing in the Middle East. But so you were.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue they were attacked on October 7th, and Iran was the one who funded
I
them.
I do have a question to maybe get us back to the
Good luck.
topic at hand.
Thank you.
And this is to Andrew and to Gibbs. Andrew first, if you please.
Sure.
If we can provide, or if people can show evidence that these programs, as silly as they might sound, increase the goodwill of the nations that we are trying to help, therefore allowing them or making it more likely that they'll be favorable to trade deals that are in our interests, to defensive pacts that are in our interests, to allowing us to use their land for bases, allowing us to use their ports to resupply and reconnect. Would that change your mind?
It might. I'd have to look at it on a case-by-case basis because, again, I want to stay away from the straw man that Destiny was making. Like, it's not just we want to cut aid. It's we have this existential threat that we want to get down as much as possible. And we can look at domestic things too, and we can look at things case by case. We're not, and even what Gibbs was saying, my own partner, I'm not like anti-LGBT. I just don't think it's the issue that we need to be spending money on while we're drowning in debt. And Destiny already agreed it's an existential threat. So personally, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if it was heterosexual comic book, like earmarked for straight men. I would still say cut it. I don't care if it's like any type of sexual anything, pleasure, anything that's not national security. Needs to be looked at and put on the chopping block when we're in this position. If we can get ourselves out of this position where we're not accumulating debt faster than we're paying it down, because what I would like is from one of them, maybe we could ask them, how do we get out of this? And then we could start to look about helping other people, because we're in a spiral, a downward spiral. I think that's the most important thing. And once we look at that, we can look at all the other programs you're talking about. I'm not just trying to cut off aid around the world
That's
indiscriminately.
a useful question. How do it? Yeah, and this is to She's Right in Destiny. How do we get out of this? If
Elect
you're
a Democratic president.
I can't separate the obsession with the debt and the deficit and all the people that want to get rid of USAID with all of the largest largest spenders in the United States. I just can't separate those positions.
It seems like support the war.
That's great for you, but you voted for people that did, right?
Well, I only have two options.
Well, then there you go. Yeah, but one of them is worse for the debt, right? The Republicans are worse. You think that the Hold on.
I think the worst that comes only from Democrats, they use it as like a funding tool through NGOs like Gibbs was trying to put, like, why do you think Tim Walz was at the heart of Minnesota and he was also the VP nominee?
So you think, hold on, so just to be clear, you think that, keep filibustering, bro. Let me know when I can talk.
Okay, you got to let him respond. Go ahead. We got it. You got to let him respond.
You got a virtue signal because these people only care about fucking trans people and gay people, apparently. If you look at
spending, straight people examples.
You're giving me Walt's going to a fucking whatever the fuck. Who cares? I'm saying that if we look at,
I'm talking about waste.
So you don't care? We don't care about debt anymore. So do you care about debt or not? Do you care about debt or not? Do you care about debt or not?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we need to cut all the waste. And it comes
Bill
from your
Clinton
side.
was the last president to have a budget surplus. Do you acknowledge that?
Correct.
Yes.
Neither side is fixing it.
I didn't say it. I said Bill Clinton was the last. That's a simple one. Without having to hedge, Bill Clinton was the last one to have a budget surplus. Yes?
Yes. But he also carried on.
George Bush was the one, a Republican, that mired us down in Iraq and Afghanistan, correct?
Yeah, I'm not here supporting Republicans.
Donald Trump was the one.
That cutting USAID is good.
Sure.
So you're, again, strawmanning my position.
Okay. I mean, you're not reality. You don't care about the debt or deficit. Just don't lie about it. It's just so boring to lie about it.
I do care. That's my main argument.
You don't care. You don't give a fuck. It is a useful vector for you, like Hassan and Israel, Palestine, or whatever else. The debt is just a useless vector for you to carry whatever cringe cultural shit that you give a fuck about. That's it.
It's an existential threat. How is it a useless vector? You admitted it.
No, I didn't. Because I think that it's important, but you don't. That's the difference. We're not the same. I think that, yes, I think the debt and the deficit is important, but you don't care about it because you will support the spenders. You support the spenders. You support the spenders. Do you understand that?
You vote for increasing the deficit. You're not a serious person.
You have to stop strawmanning me, dude. I know it's the only way you can.
It doesn't matter about supporting the war in Iran. We don't vote by referendum in the United States of America. You have to vote for a president, and you vote for political parties.
Blindly. That's what I'm saying.
Who did you support in the last election? Trump or Harris?
Of course I supported Trump.
Okay, and Trump is spending more than Harris went out. That's my point. Wait. You think the most important thing is...
The king of fraud? Is that who I was supposed to support? And then you would have said I was making the right choice? No one could have known Trump was going to do this. This isn't what he ran on.
No one could have known Trump was going to do it. Go to war with the country that he's been fear-mongering about for decades?
This isn't what he ran on. Right?
Well,
so you have to say that you have to give voters the benefit of the doubt that they believed what he was saying.
God.
You don't? You think that all the voters knew that he didn't mean no new wars? Because I honestly didn't. I can be honest sitting up here. I thought we were not going to have any new wars, and I didn't support it. So that's why I say you're putting me in a position that I'm not even defending.
Hold on. Stop. Gibbs, please. Stop. Stop, all of you, both of you. Well, let me just ask you a simple question. Okay, knowing that they did lie.
The answer is no.
In 2028, are you going to vote for Republicans or Democrats?
Well, first,
hold on, let him answer the question.
Okay, go ahead.
You're asking me?
Yes, you.
Who I'm going to vote for in 2028?
Yes, knowing that the Republicans basically lied to your face. No new wars. Oh, look, new wars. And they've drastically increased the debt and the deficit. Who are you voting for in 2028? Knowing what you know now, are you going to vote Republican again, or are you going to vote Democrat?
You know, can I just elaborate before I answer with context?
Before he says Republican, yeah.
Because I think the Democrats are worse, and I don't think Trump was deliberate. Let me just answer. I'm being 100% good faith. I'm not. I'm telling you guys the truth. I'm not like thinking out a talking point. I'm telling you what I honestly. I don't think he was lying when he said no new wars. I think he got manipulated by Israel and dog walked into this war. So I don't think it was an outright lie. I think he was manipulated and handheld into this war, and now he can't get out of it. Now they're sabotaging him in every way possible. So I would have to...
Just as a quick question, can you tell me what kind of voodoo Harris was hooked up to that she could so accurately predict on stage several times that Donald Trump would get us into war with Iran? What did she know?
Well, I mean, to be clear, first of all, I actually agree with Destin on this, but in one factor. One, I don't think he lied to us. Two, he has been saying since 1988 that he was going to go in there and fucking take Long Island and dominate the shit out of Iran. And Iran tried to kill him. If you know anything about Trump, he's real petty. He's about the 50 cents of politicians. I don't think that he's going to sit here and let someone who tries to kill him get away with it if he can. So, yeah, I knew we were going to war. Everybody that told themselves they wasn't, they bamboozled themselves on that one. Sorry, I'm not going to stand here and take that one. I definitely knew he was going to war the whole time, and I voted for that. I wanted that. Now, that's a different section of the Republican Party, I guess. I don't know. But when we're sitting here talking about all these things like USAID, I'm looking at all these examples. This is all part of his Don Rowe doctrine. He's trying to control the straits. He's redone these things. You talk about his economic plans, the TRIPS plan with Azerbaijan is fantastic. The new deal he made with Indonesia, the Strait of Malacca, fantastic. We're going to be guaranteeing that, and we're going to control the flow of oil. Looks like China is now starting to buy more of oil. We're becoming larger oil exporters than we've ever been before. We control Panama. That's another major strait, our passage right there. So yeah, and then now we're talking to the NATO allies. Hey, listen, if you don't want us taking Greenland, y'all better go and spend some money and secure the Arctic passages. Because guess what? You don't have two boats y'all can run together. Honestly, he asked NATO to do this as a trap, not only because we didn't think they would do it, but because they probably couldn't even get the boat out there to Iran, and if they wanted to. And guess who did get one out there?
Okay.
Argentina.
Okay.
So hey, all these right-leaning governments. Hold on, one last thing, Wait, one last thing. But hold on, this is the
minutes,
sure. Hold on, I've been waiting a while here. So real quick, I'm sitting here when I'm sitting this. Oh, I said this earlier with the 7 countries in South America to watch. Argentina was one of the countries that sent ships to Iran with us. So hey, guess what? Looks like those countries are already benefiting us now that USAID is gone.
Yeah, how much is Argentina's ships, the 2 tugboats they sent, how much has that helped us control the Strait of Hormuz?
Hey, it's pretty good. We got some freighters through with them.
Hold on? Do you think that we are in control currently of the Strait of Hormuz?
Yeah, we are absolutely in control. We're the ones stopping all
Sounds
this
like
shit.
waste to me.
We're sending ships through most of the time. It's always fine to get one out of every 500, whatever. Yeah, I mean, you could giggle. I mean, clearly you don't know the situation. You know, we can watch
It's absolutely not even remotely true. The Strait is dead.
True. We can
You're completely
watch
wrong.
the transponders. We're seeing
So I heard JD Vance say yesterday that the amount, and maybe JD Vance is lying, but he said yesterday the amount of ships is down, but the amount of barrels that's going out is the same. Those mostly cargo ships that aren't going through, hauling other stuff. I'm just telling you, I heard him say it yesterday. So maybe the vice president is lying, but that's what the administration is saying, that the amount of barrels going through is almost back to pre-war amounts.
Yeah, I mean, we
I
have
don't know.
evidence
Just hold on.
on shipping
So
shipping
I
transponders.
just have to point this out. I'm sorry, but we've just gone over how they lied to you about no new wars.
Well, they didn't lie.
Then
I said I'm just saying what the administration is saying.
Maybe they could be lying again. I don't know.
Then how do we know anything?
Likely.
Well, hold on. They didn't lie. They didn't lie about no new wars. So I reject that completely. That's part of the reason.
And I don't think they lied. I think he got dog walked.
Iran.
He got dog walked by Israel. I don't think it was his intention to say, we're definitely not going to do this. Ha ha ha. As soon as I get in, I'm doing it. Like, I don't think that's what he was doing. Destiny, do you honestly think that's what he was doing? The whole time he had this plan. He was like, no new wars, no new wars. Fuck these guys. I'm going to start a new war when I get in there. Or did he get in there and Israel's like, we're going. And he was like, fuck it. We just did this in Venezuela. We had amazing success. He thought he could recreate it. He was
Well, they do this
wrong.
backflip.
I think
Which
Trump
does
is.
this backflip.
I think he's. Yes, I think
That's
Trump is.
not a lie.
I think he's stupid. But that would be my. I would factor that in my vote for him. That I wouldn't vote for Trump because I know he's stupid. Just like he can't manage the debt or the deficit, which you said were existential threats for the United States, and Trump has failed miserably at. Yes, but Harris would have done a better job. That's why I voted for the Democrat. That's why I vote.
Right.
But USAID
That's
is not
the prompt.
impacting our debt or deficit that much.
That's not the prompt who I vote for.
Yeah, hold on. But just real quick,
debate.
please, just so I can kind of make people understand. It isn't the prompt, but your argument is that the USAID was bad and we should end it because the debt is an existential crisis. So that makes it part of the debate.
Well, you're asking in the field. We don't know who the candidates are going to be. Should I vote for President AOC? Is that who you think we should vote for, Destiny? President AOC or over any Republican? Who do you guys think?
Republicans are incapable of managing the wallet. They can't do it. You guys spend like crazy. You're not willing to cut any spending, and you guys cannot manage the tax receipts either because you just want to cut your revenues over and over again. So no, I don't think if you care about the debt, I don't see how you can possibly elect a Republican. Republicans have shown for the past 3 decades that they cannot manage a wallet.
And yet the polling, every time they poll like independents and like Democrats, Republicans, people trust Republicans with the economy more than Democrats. Like so clearly there's some sort of disconnect here with what you're saying, and because I don't see it. And it seems like we do good. You talked about Clinton's policies. Clinton continued most of the policies Bush Senior put in, and so like I don't really know that that's the dunk you're thinking it is. I don't know. You're sitting here saying all these things, but really, I'm just saying USAID has been faulty and corrupt and bad overall, and we need to use our soft power more efficiently. And when I can point to examples where Europe can't even send a boat even if they wanted to, and to South America, who just a few years ago El Salvador was a piece of shit, and now they're over here right-leaning, they're over here sitting here fixing their stuff. They're able to send aid to Venezuela after the issue stuff just went down. They're able to send aid to other South American countries and Central American countries after all this stuff, after being a poor country for decades. And now we're seeing this switch, and same thing with South America. It's wonderful, and it seems like USAID was holding us back by keeping leftists in power that were coming against us.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's like a fun narrative, but there's just no evidence or proof of literally any of this. So I don't understand how that USAID was the thing keeping some people in power. Do you think Malay is doing a good job down there, as we have to subsidize them for tens of billions of dollars for their farmers, as our own farmers need subsidies because of how uncompetitive we're making our own markets, as China continues to outmaneuver us over and over again? Are you talking about how we're now hostile to all of our trading partners on the planet? Like, we had 100 new deals in 100 days was supposed to be coming. We've had 0 deals so far. Nobody wants to make deals with us, and now we're cutting up our successor to NAFTA deal. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Who are the farmers? Like,
this guy just wants to get away from the prompt.
I'm interested to see this because you brought up the subsidies again earlier, and I said, yeah, I think we should cut subsidies here. Who do you think the farmers are? Because the ones that are getting the subsidies are, like, I guess it's Bayer now. It used to be Monsanto. They're the ones they're giant farmers. Like mega corporations. So I didn't know the Dems were the party of, hey, give the mega corporations subsidies. Like, that's crazy. Now, ranching is mostly 97%, but I think it's really 17% of that, whatever, is independent. But when you're sitting here saying these things, yeah, I guess it's good to give the Malay a subsidy if they're going to actually send troops and ships to help us out. That's what the countries we should be backing. We should be spending soft power. So you're doing this weird backflip where it's like, hey, we should support our allies, except when they don't support us, and we should still give them money. Or, hey, I don't want you to subsidize stuff from Malay, even though he's actually doing stuff for America and actually helping us out.
What was Malay doing for America? What?
He sent ships to help us during the fucking trade thing. I just mentioned this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it worked. They got the ships through. So my point is this: like, you keep talking about like how they help. Yeah, I mean, you could giggle, but my point is soft power has been going to help us. We're using soft power now to get for countries that want to be a part of Team America, and y'all want to just
we're isolating more countries than we.
Because I just checked. I see no evidence that they sent ships at all.
All right, I'll get another thing. Give me a minute.
Yeah, can you link me? Because I'm just maybe I just missed it, but I'm seeing nothing. But I could be incorrect.
All right, give me a minute. I haven't posted somewhere. Give me a second.
I know there's a Facebook page.
Yeah, it's going to take me a second. I'll have to find it. I have it linked in my Discord. Just give me a minute.
There was tweets that said it, but there was no actual announcement or article or anything I could really find.
Just give me a couple minutes. I got it. I'll find it before we in a second.
Yeah, just really quick. But back to the USAID stuff.
Regardless, they're still doing stuff with us for the economy, so they're still helping us.
I don't know about that. The argument that USAID actually benefits these countries and helps them not just economically, but inspires goodwill towards America. Does that not sit with our interest? Is that not in just definitionally in America's interest? Especially when we have people like China and other bad actors, Russia, who are looking to also kind of sidle up to these other countries and maybe get influence in there as well. So isn't it us cutting off aid to these people only helping China and Russia?
No, I would say it depends on what it is. And I don't think cutting off diversity, equity, and inclusion training to Serbia in any way helps China. I honestly, I think it's the opposite. I think like aligning ourselves with these programs that we know don't work more hurts America. Like that's what I mean. It depends on what the specific aid program is and whether or not we should cut it. But it seems like a majority of these, whether it be something I consider just wasteful, like a DEI initiative overseas, or an LGBT or a gay comic book. Sorry, not a trans comic book. Whatever it is, I don't.
Education comic book.
Or what about
an education comic book?
You keep focusing on. You keep focusing on this.
Even if it's an education comic book, I don't think that we have to have a priority, a hierarchy of what's important to us.
You gotta let him respond.
Say again.
You gotta let him respond once you make the point.
No, he can respond. I'm saying a hierarchy of priorities, and I don't see any of these things being top priority.
Sure. Why is it then that like they were cutting like PEPFAR and stuff? Like you keep focusing on the.
I have PEPFAR. I have it here. We could talk about it. That's the Presidential Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Why did they cut it? I don't know. Maybe they found some fraud or abuse in there. Do you have evidence
you cut
that they
the whole
didn't?
program? Evidence that they didn't?
Oh, they cut it. So that's the evidence that I'm citing, that there was fraud and abuse. Do you have evidence that that's incorrect?
That's not how evidence works. I don't even know how you could. That's the dumbest like statement you could possibly make. Like,
well, this is a waste, fraud, and abuse program that cut it.
Yeah, but
Right?
it wasn't because Doge did not find any waste, fraud, or abuse. They just identified programs that the
know what they
administration was ideologically opposed to. That's not what waste, fraud, and abuse
But to
is.
them, that's wasteful. But to them, that's wasteful.
Okay, if
Destiny.
you're retarded, I guess.
I gotta ask. I gotta ask. Okay, I gotta ask you,
No,
Jack.
that's not what waste
Like
means.
saying a journalist can't lie because they're a journalist.
Andrew, I gotta ask. If the next 2028 comes around, we get President AOC, and she makes a group called the Pedophile Finders and Arresters, and they go out and they arrest Trump and they arrest all the Republicans. Is that evidence that the people they arrest are pedophiles? Would that be sufficient evidence to you?
No, but if they start arresting people, hold on. I debate the moderator too. If they start arresting people and saying these people are pedophiles, then we can then look at those people and see if those claims are true. They still did arrest people that they said were pedophiles. The government did still shut down these programs, and you guys looked it up. You're trying to get it on a technicality and say, oh, it's educational and it just had a gay character. It's not a transgender comic.
Technicality.
So you're even admitting that it's real.
That's not technicality. That's the purpose.
I'm saying we think it's wasteful. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but you've not proven waste. And you said you would investigate the alleged rapist.
That's what we're doing.
But you have not investigated and proven waste or fraud or abuse. It just cut medical relief for people with AIDS around the globe. That does actually build soft power.
Let's just use the example of the comic book thing. I think it's a pretty dumb example, but let's just use it real quick.
Why don't we use PEPFAR? We were talking about PEPFAR.
Well, we've been talking about both.
Yeah, let's talk. We haven't talked about PEPFAR yet, and I want to. So go ahead.
Okay, so fine. Okay, well, what is the PEPFAR thing again here? What did y'all just say? I was ready to go with a whole different argument, but whatever.
AIDS prevention. AIDS prevention. In the third world, it's life or death kind of thing. Medication.
Yeah, cool. I mean, so it's important. Yeah, well,
nobody else can pay for it. Only us.
Yeah, I mean, we're the only country. I know that the argument they're going to make is, we don't want other countries to step in and do it because that's going to us give up the soft power. But I mean, listen. Here's the thing. Yeah, it's sad these people got AIDS, but did they have the sex themselves? Maybe most of the time, yes. Most of the time they did. I'm not going to say everyone was a product of not a consensual sex that got AIDS from war-torn countries. Sure, some of them probably got that way too. That's sad, right? Here's the deal. These are war-torn countries with populations that live there, right? It's not. Listen, we're not just some global police force as much as people want us to be. We have debt. We have other issues. We have issues here at home. We have problems. There's other countries that are rising in power. Russia and China. I hear about it all the time from people. Multipolarity. It's coming, right? And so, if that's the case, then why are we the only ones that are going to sit here and spend our money? It seems like they're having us throw money in a black hole that's never going to sit here and help us out. These countries still hate us because of religion, because we're infidels, for all sorts of other reasons, because propaganda, etc., etc. And then you still want us to throw money at this problem, and it's not helping us at all. And then when I go, hey.
You gotta let them respond. Go ahead.
Well, sure.
So you have not actually substantiated that doesn't help us at all. In fact,
you haven't substantiated
and that PEPFAR does actually not only it has saved lives, like over 100,000 lives, even since it was cut like a year ago, right? But also PEPFAR is the one area because it's a health-based thing. It's one of the easiest to quantify a little bit. It gets journalist coverage, and it's when we have the clearest idea. Has actually increased public perceptions of America abroad and at home. Like it gets positive coverage, and that's one of the things that leads to soft power.
What countries is this in? Are they predominantly Christian?
PEPFAR is pretty global. It's pretty complicated. It's like one of the bigger, more complicated things. Yeah.
Right. But where AIDS is mainly located is in what areas?
I think Sub-Saharan Africa was the huge focus on it, but Bush even got a ton of.
Now, what is America's popularity in Sub-Saharan Africa, where it's a bunch of Muslim extremists and extreme Christian groups fighting each other?
Well,
would you say
higher with PEPFAR than without?
They hate us anyway. Why should they hate us? We have to pay for them too.
Okay,
what type of masochism?
I want them to not hate us.
Okay, you guys, hold on. We got to give the ball to She's Right and Destiny to have their say.
Arguably, the AIDS meds is helping these keep.
Not Andrew. Sorry.
I like supporting programs that make people not hate us.
Side for a minute. And you start talking? What is going on?
Because you keep cutting us off right when we
I don't cut you off. You talk for 10 minutes.
No, wait. Okay, go ahead.
Just give the ball to them for a little bit.
Yeah. So, there are some countries that are led by evil governments. Fuck them. I don't support them. Make apologies for them. This is a program that saves lots of lives and improves their attitudes towards America. This is part of resolving their hatred of us. Whereas, war does not make people like you a lot of time. This is one of those parts that's. And I believe we should agree here. This is a problem we want to solve. This is something that is helping solve it. So
if they stay alive longer, they can spend more money, right? They can work harder. That's something that happens, right?
Sure, potentially.
Okay, so if these countries are countries that don't like us with governments that are evil, we're paying to keep evil governments, countries, people alive, supplying them economically with physical soldiers and bodies for their economy. Why the fuck would we want to do that?
Isn't that what Donald Trump is about to
Because
do with
economically
Iran?
developed countries liberalize.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're bombing the shit out of Iran. I guess their leadership would probably disagree, considering they're hiding in holes. But sure.
Trump's
Not
about to
only
give
that, but
Iran
you
more
said-
money
you
than they ever
said
had in the
this
history
moves
of
them-
them.
Go ahead, Destiny. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, Trump's about to give Iran the sweetest deal that's ever had in the history of the existence of that country, but
We don't know what the deal is going to be yet. I know you keep trying to bring it here because you don't want to debate the point, but I'll say like the deal's not over.
they never
you know,
are.
I'm
Isn't
sure
that kind of
you-
crazy that none of them ever are?
I'm sure you've bought in a house before or something. You get disclosures throughout the deal, and they're different every time, and they're never the same as the deal at the end. So I'm not going to call the game like in the
I'm
middle.
not familiar with that. Where what you negotiate on a house for 10 years and the conditions are constantly
the
changing.
disclosures change during the process of working out the deal, and then the last one is the final deal. That's how it always works. So
no,
I don't
just
know
to be
why
clear,
you-
this has
in the
nothing to do. I don't know why you would even
you-
make that analogy. Nothing like how Trump
Because
negotiates
that's
is
how
like a normal.
deals work.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you
no,
get
it's
initial
not.
disclosures on a deal, and then it changes. You keep getting new disclosures throughout the process, showing you the updated changes until you get the final disclosures. That is how deals work. And
Where are they then?
and to say-
Where are all these deals that Trump has worked out? He hasn't. You realize he hasn't made a single fucking one, right?
That's what I'm saying. We're not going to call it in the middle. Why don't instead of rooting for America to fail and calling it before it's over, why don't we just wait and see how it plays out?
What were the deals that he got in his
Isn't
first
that-
administration for the 4 years there?
But that's not what we're discussing
none,
now. I'm saying
none.
is why don't we? Yeah, because you keep moving the goalposts around.
I'm asking
Why,
for
like,
any deals.
make
He
a
said he's
point
making
over
this
here,
how you make
point over here. I'm
deals.
trying
He
to
didn't make
stick to
any.
one.
He didn't make any. He hasn't made any. What can I evaluate? There's none to
And
evaluate.
again, you're like moving off the prompt because you know this stuff that we're bringing up is wasteful. You know it.
No.
You admitted that it's an existential threat, and there's no basis for which we can just keep throwing money down the drain. And
Yeah,
you have
Trump
no
continues
proof
to do
that
it.
it's doing anything in any of these places. You said, why should we send to places that have evil warlords? Well, I brought up Sudan. So can we cut Sudan and can we cut the DEI
Well,
in Serbia?
If you
And
if
we'll
you knew
keep
about
the-
this, we
we'll
already
keep the
have
aid
stopped
program?
funding food
Can
for
we cut
Sudan and
some
South
of
Sudan,
them?
which are
I'm
two of the
being
highest need
reasonable.
areas, by the way.
Can we keep?
But you haven't looked into this, so you're just lying.
Can we keep the AIDS program and cut the DEI? Like, can we?
But
cut
you didn't
some
do
of them?
that.
Are you guys
None of you
okay
guys
with
did that. You cut it all. So that makes it seem like you don't really give a
That's okay
fuck.
with you. I'm debating you. Is that okay with you?
If there are programs that you want to cut because the money's not going towards where it's supposed to be going towards, I think that's totally fine to evaluate it and cut it. But that's not what they
Okay,
did.
thank you. So can we then
But you
work
cut
out a
the
system
evaluation
for
mechanisms.
which to track it better before we open up?
That's
the
USAID, dipshit.
That's what USA does. That's what the
My whole
program
point,
is.
dipshit, is that it wasn't working. That's our whole point.
How do you
It doesn't
know?
work. How do I know? Because it's going to places with chattel slavery. I have a
Oh,
pretty
God.
good idea that they're not
Okay,
using the money
okay,
efficiently.
hold on.
They're more
I
than
metric
I gotta make a little
working
money.
hours.
Is the new
I gotta
ballroom?
work
Wait,
on
real
it,
quick,
make
real
a
quick.
little
Just
money.
a
So
quick
you
question.
want to send money to people that are slavers.
I
Quick
give-
question.
I give an
That's
example.
not
Quick question.
my position.
Is the new
But
ballroom?
that's
Can we
position.
characterize the
She
new
desperately
ballroom?
wants to give money to slavers.
Can we?
Desperately.
Oh my God, the filibustering. Can we qualify the new ballroom as waste, fraud, and
Just said
abuse?
it.
Is that okay?
What does that have to do with the? What does that have to do with?
I'm
the
just
prompt?
asking. I'm just asking. Can that be waste, fraud, and abuse?
I don't think it's wasteful.
I do.
Should the White House not have a nice ballroom? I'm not saying it's necessary.
No. I'm saying it's wasteful. So can I say you said that it's an
Exactly, so
existential
that proves
threat?
my point.
You said it was an
You think certain
existential threat that our debt and deficit is so high. So why the fuck are we tearing down parts of the White House that were perfectly fine before and wasting money on building a
Based on
ballroom?
foreign policy, we can talk about those things, and I agree with you. I said
Okay, let me-
domestic and foreign.
Yeah, let me read some super chats because I gotta make a little money, okay?
Sure.
And then we'll get back to it. This will get a little breather for everyone. $5 from the average Jake L to say, Mr. Mooten said we should donate. Thank you, Mr. Mooten, for supporting other base liberals. Well, yes, you should donate. Mr. Mooten is entirely correct. Thank you for the $5. $5 from Stormwolf. Why bring up elections? Is Gibbs implying no USAID led to pro-American governments being elected, or that the consequences won't happen?
Sorry, what was the question?
$2 from It's Fishy. What does Stephen Bennell 2 think about 6-7? Okay.